Like I watched the videos, of course, of Esoteric soloing everything in this game, going, "Why do I bother playing Destiny?"
Right? And someone's like, I saw a bill like it. Yeah, no, I don't care. Esoteric did. I bet he did.
But I mean, that's that's like comparing me, jogging down to the corner store and going, "Well, Usain Bolt could have done it in 8 seconds." Like that's what he is. Esoteric is our Destiny PvE Olympian. Comparing myself to him is kind of a moot point.
I don't deny that it's possible. I just deny it's possible for me.
Oh, 100%. Love watching his stuff, but it's one of those that is an Olympic level ability that I cannot do.
Yeah,
I will,
it is pure aspiration.
I will admire it for its skill and talent, and go back to my coffee and dying in regular strikes.
Welcome to Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast. Dedicated in bringing you all the latest information, news, and opinions. This is the best show for new and veteran Guardians alike, where we share tips, tricks, and tools to help you succeed and enjoy playing even more. So with all that said, let me hand you over to your hosts, the Triumph Hunting Titan Nitedemon, the pink-panted pansy Peroty, and your Hunter Master Ranger, Mr. No One Respawns in Real Life!
So I guess we could welcome people to the show. Welcome.
Yes, so welcome, people.
And unfortunately, our Hunter Master Ranger is not very well today. I think this is the first time in 3 years that he's actually officially missed. Wouldn't you say? I'm sure it is.
Yeah, I think so. He's been pretty dedicated, but he's been taken down by the the thing that is going around that everybody is getting. So he is sick this week. He will be back, presumably next week. Who knows? One can never tell with him.
He may even show up today just coughing and spluttering, and then we get rid of him very quickly. But he has found a suitable replacement for himself, one that I think he values quite highly the opinion of. Mr. Fuzko, you have joined us this week.
Yeah, it's good to be back, fellas. Thank you for having me.
Well, we weren't really kind of given any choice. We were just told Fuzko's coming on the show.
Oh, don't be like that. You know you love me.
So how does it feel to be hand selected by Respawn? So I think at this point you're running the Respawn army with his absence. I think that's how that works.
No, I'm not sure he lets warlocks take over.
No, I'm pretty sure he's a hand selected successor to the army. I mean that's you got to have a line of succession somewhere.
I see. I thought he was all about the chaos mode.
That could be. That's true.
Are you prepared to shout for the people today?
Shout for the people. What am I yelling about?
Random tangent. You could just go on from random tangents and tell stories of childhood and traumas that you've gone through. Apparently, it keeps the people entertained.
People must be entertained.
They must.
So, Nitedemon Pan threatened to join us today as well, and I said, "Are you to talk about farming or Destiny?" He's like, "Well, I can talk about Destiny if you want." That was my plan. So I don't know if he actually is or not, or if he just threatened because he was jealous of Fuzko's here.
I was really looking forward to a Stardew Valley update.
Right? I mean, what I mean, we talk about farming and Destiny all the time. It seems like just a natural extension. If Massive Breakdown can spawn a second podcast, we can do a Stardew Valley podcast, or just mix it into Destiny. It's fine. It's all the same thing.
That's a wonderful idea. Well, I'm sitting here talking with you fine gentlemen, and Pan can talk about farming. I can be turning in gunsmith tokens.
And how many do you have to turn in, sir?
About 12,000.
No, I'm not being funny, but I thought you were a kind of man that didn't concern himself with things like that.
Not taking a resource? Because these are all... Because once they go away, I realize that, no, I'm probably not going to get a useful roll from anything, but to me it's shards.
Yeah, I'm getting enhancement prisms at a reasonably decent clip too, so it's worth turning and breaking down for those.
Again, anytime that you've ever said anything in the chat, it's always like, I don't care. I'll just deal with it as it comes. That's the
So
kind of vibe that you give off to me.
I am dealing with it as it's coming.
Yeah, and the end is coming, so now he's like, it's time to deal with it. He is just sensible enough not to have piles and piles of gunsmith tokens that you're staring down, going, why am I dealing with these?
Because that's what I've been doing is while I'm waiting for people to do activities, because we've been running. Grasp of Avarice is as I wait for people to grab bounties, I wait for people to log on. I'm just sitting there cashing in gunsmith materials.
That's your mini game. Okay.
Yeah.
That's your mini game in Destiny. As you're like, all right, let me play the mini game. Oh, what's that? Cashing materials as I wait for you to do a thing. That makes sense. That's what I should have been doing, but I've taken to just throwing them at the gunsmith and then looking at Dim, going, which of these rolls has a thumbs up, and which of them doesn't? Because that's really the only metric I'm using. I don't care about what they are. I'm like, if you have a thumbs up, I'll look at you and then sort out if you're worth keeping later.
You may or may not have seen in the chats that my RNG in this game is atrocious.
I feel like that's most of us at this point.
I have never gotten a roll on like threaded needle that had Vorpal until about a month ago, and I have been trying for one.
Oh yeah, see, that's the thing. You can't tell Destiny what you want. Just like Respawn telling Destiny at one of the Vex Mythoclast, he's like, you're never going to get it that way.
It's 42 runs for him.
Yeah, something like that. You have to give up all hope of what you're trying to do, and then Destiny bestows it on you. Or just don't play Destiny for like a week or two, and then come back and it'll start raining exotics down on you because it missed you and loves you and wants you to feel loved.
And we had a guy who still doesn't have Vex Mythoclast. And
no, his name isn't Respawn.
No, it's not Respawn. It's Hawkeye, and he just basically gave up. He said, "You know what? I'm over it. I hate this raid. I'm not playing anymore."
So next time he runs it, like next season, like out of the blue, he won't care. It'll drop for him.
So I believe last time I was on the show, I hadn't yet done a Master Vogue, and now I've gotten my raid title.
Ooh, yeah. I vaguely remember you saying you were going to give us an update. What's the update?
So I definitely like the addition of the adept weapons, or the time worn, whatever they decide to call them this time, because it definitely increases my adept pool. So now, I've got good rolls on everything except the Vision of Confluence, which is the Solar Scout Rifle. So having another adept hand cannon and machine gun is really nice. I like that, but it is a slog. It is a painful, brutal slog, and that light level is very unforgiving. Very unforgiving if you're not high enough, because there's that weird little skill window where if you're a good enough and lucky enough player between 1345 and 1350, you can get away with not being high enough. But for an average player, if you're not 1350, you shouldn't be anywhere near there.
What happens if you're 1358 and you have luck?
1358?
Then you can just solo it.
Oh no, you can absolutely do it.
Yeah, but does that negate the skill? Can I just ride on luck?
That luck might even be better for you.
That's all I roll with, baby.
That's all you need. Luck. Who needs skill? Just let go and let the guns do as they will. Hope the bullets land where they need to. It's all RNG anyway.
It's the first time I've seen a boss or a PvE mechanic that will kill the sword in the Well of Radiance. That was an interesting learning mechanic.
That was someone at Bungie going, what would be fun if we do this?
Yeah, but have you baited and switched him yet? Have you put a bubble on one side and a well on the other so he doesn't know where to shoot?
He shoots the well.
So put the well down one side, everybody go and stand in the bubble.
So we had been putting so for the Templar fight, if you're familiar with like shooting him from the back of the stairs, we'd put the sword behind the corner,
Right.
or
Hmm.
you put the sword down, then you put a well over the sword, a bubble over the sword, the
Yeah.
well sword.
I was going to say that. Put it over the sword.
Oh, yeah,
Kind
the
of-
sword itself.
Kind of eclipses it, yeah.
Nice.
So you back up into the bubble, step up, and it was very interesting to see those kind of changes in gameplay, because I'm normally, even in the Grandmasters, you walk up, plant the well, and you plant your ass in that well until it's done.
Yeah, you stand, you deliver, and that's it.
Nope, Master Vogue, you're sitting there going, "Oh God, don't kill the sword! Don't kill the sword! Don't kill the sword!" Oh, where'd that champion come from? He just one-shot me in the well.
That's interesting. It's interesting, again, like with the reckoning and the bridge mechanic, it was like you need a well or a bubble or something, and we're just gonna stomp you off it. Instead of stomp you off, it's like we're just gonna go after that one lifeline you have. We're gonna go after that thing you need and absolutely have to get through this encounter.
But my only real gripe with the Master Vogue is I realize there's a lot of people who didn't like the light level, and I kind of agree with that. It's kind of a steep climb. If this season wasn't as long as it was, I wouldn't have had nearly the time to put into it that I did.
Yeah.
To go for rerolls on guns, and as we discussed, that's what I had saved all of my spoils for adept rerolls.
Yeah. And you can do that, can't you, when you get to the end?
Once you get to the end of Master Run, you can re-roll for anything you've gotten so far. And I did really enjoy that upon the completion of the challenge, which was for the triumph for the seal, but if you did the challenge, you got one of the guns, guaranteed. And that was something I really liked that they did.
Yeah.
So the challenge is on a weekly rotator. Each challenge gave you a different gun, and there was one gun per challenge that you could get as time worn. So you were guaranteed at least one of the adept versions of those guns. And I really like that, you put in the effort, you're at least guaranteed one.
Yeah, because I mean, you were just saying, like, you can spend so much time in this game searching for not even like the perfect one, even just like one of 2 or 3 good versions of something, and never get it. To be able to say, I will put in the time and effort to do this, hard end game content, I'm at least going to get something worthwhile out of it. Maybe it's not the version of the weapon I want, not the weapon I want, but at least it's a good version of one of those weapons, without having to rely on the slot machine to go, we deem you worthy. Here's a thing.
Because it was doing Legends of the New Dungeon, the Grasp of Avarice, going for the artifact slot armor. And I think over 3 runs, I have only gotten 5 pieces of armor.
Ouch.
And none of it is very... My highest roll was a 62, and the stat distribution was one of those...
Someone was drunk.
I needed 26 resilience on my Warlock.
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
8 of everything else? Yes, of course.
Yeah, 8 of everything else. You masterwork it, it's 10. What's wrong with you, lad?
Clearly, it's the brain damage the American healthcare system missed.
Obviously.
Later that same evening.
Before we get too far, did you find out that that's Pan in the...
It is Pan in the waiting room.
Okay.
And I popped in the waiting room to see what it was. We can't talk to one another, and I can raise my hand to speak.
and unfortunately, I can't drag him from there because he's not a real boy.
No, it feels more like a digital waiting room.
Yeah. So I think if we were actually there, like doing, if we were there as the hosts, which I assume we can identify ourselves in some way, it should, let people listen from there.
That you two actually know the person in real life and can actually message him on a telephone to say, "Don't go in there, come in here." He's just been sitting there listening to himself. Bless him.
He's very happy just to sit quietly and play by himself. It's fine. he's a farmer and a redneck scientist. What could go wrong?
Yeah.
5 minutes later.
Do we wait for him? Do we not wait for him?
Yeah, he'll figure it out sooner or later when he hears the voices in his head and go, are those real voices or the regular voices?
Yeah.
So I guess we should get to this whole, this whole 12 that Bungie put out, that told us things. Or should we really quickly touch on the hotfix they pushed on the 27th? It seems like now again, I touched Destiny like late last night and a little bit this morning, and not the rest of the week because work is stupid and Zoom wants to break things.
Yeah,
but it seems like there was a lot of maintenance this week. I didn't track whether it was all you can play through it maintenance or not, but it seemed like every time I turned around, Bungie was like, we broke things. You can't do something else. Go for a walk. Come back in a couple hours.
I do believe that there was one point this week that was emergency where they had to take it down. That might have been Wednesday night or Wednesday night for me anyway, so kind of midday for you guys. That it went down because there was an issue, and then they did a patch, and then like you said, they did their hotfix this week. Yeah, the Twitter notifications for this is coming up. I'm like, I'm sure we've already had that, but no.
Yeah, we've broken everything. I mean they did. Yeah, they pushed out the hotfix 3404 on the 27th. They fixed an issue with dares causing the reputation to be rewarded in dares less than they intended, and they fixed an issue where their frontal assault buff was not reliably being applied to a player if their charge melee killed the target. And then this other fix, it doesn't seem like really a problem at all. An issue where hand cannons would have an empty magazine with first entering an activity. That seems like it's just ratcheting the difficulty level up for hand cannon users. Start with an empty gun. Go find some unlimited ammo.
I have heard people complain that Crucible wasn't hard enough.
Yeah, so I think that was their fix. They're just like, here, load in with no ammo. Now see how you do. Go find a little white brick of ammo to put in your gun. Oh, right. Yeah, that's all that fix was. So I don't know what else was broken, or if they're just like, we can't have a whole class of weapons not have ammo, which again doesn't feel like a problem to me, but I guess other people.
Like Crucible. Have you considered playing it on hard mode? No bullets in your guns?
Yeah, I mean, we just talked about Master Vogue. This is just Master Crucible. That's all it is.
Ooh, there we go.
Wait, am I here now?
Hey!
I'm here now. I can work things. I do good.
And you sound great.
Do I? Last time I did this, Blue was like, are you in a well? Do we need to send Lassie? Is everything okay?
No, you sound so professional. In fact,
your audio quality is fantastic.
I can never tell with you people. I can never tell. Like, I don't know if you're being serious, like, especially
no.
Fuzko.
Okay, Nitedemon would not lie to you as he has to deal with all the audio. So if nothing else, he would not lie to you about your audio quality.
Okay, fair enough.
The rest of us absolutely cannot and should not be trusted.
Yeah, no,
that's how friendship works.
Yeah, no, it's because I live near you guys and we go drink pints of Pepsi and beer at the same time.
Yeah, that's how it should be done. Who's the designated driver though?
Whichever poor soul Uber sends us. We request a 15-passenger van just for capacity's sake. Or a pickup truck. We all get in the back of the pickup truck and ride through downtown DC.
I completely understand where you're coming from now. Uber, that's something like, I don't know what you're talking about. Pickup truck, yeah. I can imagine you lot bundling in the back of a pickup truck.
Hey, you know what? I resemble that remark, and I don't appreciate it.
Yeah, there we go. Yep.
Yeah. See. Okay, so we don't have Respawn because he's sick, but we did bring a Floridian and an extra Titan. So don't have a Hunter among us, but
the other half of your brain. So
yeah, I mean, we're filling the gaps admirably. I feel like.
I feel this is going to go really well today.
Yeah, no, it's going to be solid content.
I'm already having a blast. I'm down 7,000 gunsmith parts, and I've got 2 guns I want to check the rolls on.
Oh, good.
Those are rookie numbers.
Yeah, really, honestly.
So as we said at the beginning, we're missing Respawn this week due to being ill, but we have 2 replacements for him now. We have Panaoramix and Fuzko. So welcome, guys. Join the madness.
And madness it is.
It is. So let me just explain at the top of the show. You won't hear Panaoramix speak and Peroty speak at the same time because they are both the same person. One side is one side of the brain and one side is the other.
He's the creative on the logical side.
There you go.
Accurate.
Panaoramix, are you here to offer your vault cleaning service to people?
Absolutely. Have you?
Datto's been around.
I know, right? He's stealing my gig.
I know.
Here we are, like in Datto we trust, and he goes stealing our gig, and we can't have that sort of thing. I mean, if you need somebody to mock you and clean out your vault, I'm obviously your guy. I've been doing it way longer than Datto.
Yeah.
It's running on a decade now, and I feel a little slighted, honestly. And
I think maybe what you're missing is update your marketing. I think.
Yeah.
Your jingle is a little bit out of date.
We don't do jingles. Again,
No,
on the
you have
logical
got a
side,
jingle.
you talk to the creative side for jingles.
The creative side did a jingle for you. And,
did he?
Yeah. Have you not heard your jingle?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You've got a jingle? I didn't get a jingle when I
didn't get a jingle either.
Inserting jingle here so people can hear it.
Panaoramix18's Vault Cleaning Services. Has your ghost got too much junk in its trunk? Does your alt hunter have 8 Titan helmets in her inventory? Did you donate more Fractaline than would be considered healthy by 9 out of 10 Cryptarchs? Then call Pan's Inventory Cleaning Service. For a nominal fee, he'll clean out that vault faster than a D1 beta veteran would a loot cave. And it really, really works.
Good. I'll be sure to listen so I know what the claims are before we start.
I think it had something to do with the
jingle came from you. There's a text message somewhere where I was like, give me a pitch for your vault cleaning service. And
okay.
Whatever you sent me, that's what it was.
That's okay. I'm not scrolling back through 6 months of text messages between the two of us to find that.
Oh, it was longer than that, my friend.
No, that's that may
I was like, whatever
never coming back.
Whatever he sends me is being used. So
Perfect.
I think it had to do with those silly towers that were on the EDZ Mars that you could put the parametric stuff into that would give you weapons. That I'd saved up thousands and thousands.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of it now. Was that Season of the Worthy? Those things.
It's for the best that we don't think about that.
Yeah, that's not.
That's why the jingle's a bit out of date, because it referenced that a lot of people don't know about. So you need to update that jingle, guys.
Wait till next season. See which currency we're gonna have 6 billion of, and I'll incorporate that.
Okay. Iron Banner tokens. It's all gonna be Iron Banner tokens.
Iron Banner tokens, and I still have raid tokens. I don't know who those go to anymore. I have 6 of them.
You keep those.
Yeah, those live here wherever
those
they're at.
Are precious, especially for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now, the currency that I don't understand why they're giving us is strange coins and treasure keys. Honestly, whoever worked on.
No, I've got you a good tip for that later.
Oh, jeez.
Remind me.
Yeah, I'll get right on that. Hold on, I'm writing it down.
That's a tease for later on in the show. I could share it now, but you know. I could.
And then I'll still not remember to remind you later.
Fair enough.
I'm still just stewing because I got gypped out of a jingle when I purchased this vault cleaning service.
Look, you also purchased popcorn. Have you gotten that yet?
You mean the popcorn of lies? I had just assumed you'd eaten it.
No, not yet. There have been occasions where I was tempted.
Deceit has never tasted better.
That's right. So have we sufficiently derailed the conversation yet, or should we go further?
You're assuming there were rails to begin with. I don't know what Night even had in mind when he woke up this morning, but we woke up and chose violence.
I don't think this was it.
Well, I was thinking, to be honest, I thought if Respawn's not here, it's going to go a little bit smoother. Then when I wandered into the chat and found Fuzko here, I thought, that's all right. Then when I heard you were coming, I was like,
that's you know what? That's
my swear word for the day. That's my one.
came down with a fire team of 9. That's what I was told.
Right? Yeah. Okay, who's got the third eyeball? Give it back. We need it.
Well, we'd started off by giving people the information about the hotfix, which was about 3 paragraphs. So we're doing well so far.
Yeah, we're doing great. Fuzko told us all about his frustration with Master Vogue. So see, we've talked about Destiny for the most part.
Yeah.
I expressed my joy for having the battlegrounds added into Vanguard Ops.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. No, why wouldn't you be excited for that?
I mean, that's all I've been waiting for these last 6
Is it
months.
still
That's the only
is that one of the ones that required you to have some sort of consumable to open the chest at the end?
Yes.
hammer
Okay,
charges. It sure did.
Are we gonna have to have hammer charges, or have we discussed that yet?
No, we don't have to have hammer charges now.
Okay. See there, information.
They haven't told you how many chests you get at the end. I'm guessing it's probably just going to be the one.
And actually, we've cut that one in half, so good luck. I hope it works out.
I do like my 200 glimmer in the blue.
That's definitely worth 15 or 20 minutes of fighting through a whole battleground, right? I mean, what could be better?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, speaking of battlegrounds, next week in Destiny, you can defeat Keitel, or defeat Kyle's champion, in the ritual combat in the Proving Ground Nightfall. So if you love a bit of battlegrounds, there you go. You've got a bit of battlegrounds there, and it's a Nightfall, and so there. Deal with that.
Battlegrounds and Proving Grounds.
Deal with that,
So-
Fuzko.
It's only one of the more painful Grandmaster Nightfalls.
There you go. So if you don't like that, you can go and play Trials Labs, because that's returning next week.
Oh, what are we getting in Trials Labs next week, Nitedemon?
Bonus ranks. So if you're grinding it out for engrams to collect and hoard like Peroty, then next week's your week. They don't say which Trials Labs is returning, but I believe, going on previous Trials, it's the solo playlist that they were talking about. They said there would be several leading up to the Witch Queen. They could have put a bit more effort into explaining it, but it's just one line of Trials Labs returns alongside bonus Trials ranks. That's it. That's all you're getting.
Perhaps
all the
they
information.
don't know.
They
I think-
know.
No. The guy writing the TWAB, no clue. He was sent an email that said Trials Labs is coming back.
See, that's where
And,
you're going wrong. It wasn't
he
a guy this
asked-
week. It was a girl.
My apologies. She was sent the email. She asked for more information, and she was told to shut the hell up. They'll get what they get.
Yeah, because they like going on Reddit or Twitter afterwards and going, "Hey, this is the information we didn't put in the TWAB."
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they do that just so they can get the outrage of the community like in one place?
Shh! Don't tell them the secret source.
Sir, you've worked in a company with human beings. You know how well people communicate and talk to each other and like pass along information in a
Yeah.
orderly fashion that like meets, I don't know, say a deadline to publish every week. that happens flawlessly, right?
Right. Yeah. Perfect every time.
Communication, not our forte.
No. But you know what would be your forte for next week, seeing as you like a bit of PvE activities? The Grandmaster catch-up node goes live.
Neat. Does it still have to be 1345? Because I'm sort of struggling to get there.
Possibly.
Yeah. No,
It's
that's-
Grandmaster, so yeah.
Yep. Nope. That's not going to work well.
Can you refresh my memory on what the catch-up mode is? For those of
Nope.
us who've never had to use it?
Where
All-
you
all
can
of
do
them are
you can
available.
pick. Yeah. Or can you pick, or do they pick for you? I don't remember.
You can pick, but I thought
Okay.
that was already live. That went live a couple of weeks back so that you could do your Grandmaster title. So I'm not sure what they're saying here, because again, it's something they haven't really explained.
Because I have been helping people get their Grandmaster titles, and as long as they haven't gilded it for the season, they've been able to pick it for a little while now.
Right. Yeah. Now
Yeah.
I know there was a thing where if you have the Conqueror title, you could get into it way early. Like it was available for folks with the Conqueror title super early, and you could help non-conquerors get through it. So maybe this is that. I don't know. I still need to actually get through some of them the season 2 or any of them. But every time I have time to play, it's Exodus down. and X's crash and I lose my will to live and just go, no. I love myself more than that. It's an act of self-care not to do that.
You should do it this week then, because you have Sepkis Prime, which is a pretty good one to do.
That one's not bad.
There you go.
I will take not bad. Not bad is a ringing endorsement at this point.
Our PvE King here has endorsed that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, far from a king. I just crawl through the PvE mud with the rest of everybody.
And then, if you want to do a bit more PvP stuff, we have Showdown returning to the Crucible. Peroty, what is Showdown?
I knew you were going to ask me, and I knew I should have had this document open, but did I? Absolutely not, because I've been frantically turning in gunsmith tokens all morning long.
Oh, well, I'm sorry to cut you off from that, but the people want to know.
I mean, some of us have priorities here, and gunsmith tokens are those priorities.
That's all right. We'll take a short break and return when Peroty has the information.
Well, Showdown it's a 3v3 mode where you're going to fight for valor by defeating opponents and preventing revives. You're going to win the most rounds or face off in an elimination showdown. And your light level advantages are disabled because they are basically everywhere. So yeah, it's 3v3, shoot each other and don't let them bring their friends back.
Is that sounds like Trials? Is that that sounds? How is that not Trials?
It's Trials Light. Yeah, thank you, Nitedemon.
Yeah, it's Trials practice where if you're like, I want to go into this and do some Trials-ish activities, but without any of the actual, stakes or weapons or reason, you could do that.
Yeah, that sounds phenomenal.
So the Trials weekend, where you get bonus Trials rep to get those tasty Trials engrams that some of us are going to be hoarding for the Summoner next season.
Yeah.
That sounds familiar.
And we could go play this mode instead and not get the extra rep or the tasty engrams for the Summoner coming back next season.
Well, where do I sign up? You've talked me into it.
No, see, that's your training. You play that up until Trials goes live to be ready.
So you put on the LFG, must have completed Showdown flawlessly 18 times in a row before I allow you on my team.
Exactly. You must have 3-0 Showdown KD. And that way, alternately, you've broken your will to live at that point. So when you go into Trials, then you just don't care anymore. And you can just go and earn engrams.
You know what the funniest thing to do is on LFG? If you are solo searching for a Trials group, put in there, must have KD over such and such. Don't be too ridiculous. And also put checking your KD before I select you kind of thing. The amount of tryhards that you get in your lobby to help you with Trials is phenomenal. I've done it once just as a joke, knowing that my KD is absolutely terrible in Trials. But they don't check yours because you're checking theirs.
Right.
It's fun to do.
Oh, that's phenomenal. I love that. I'll check your KD. You won't check mine because you're going to assume I'm good. Fools.
You can only do it a couple of times before people kind of suddenly start realizing, it's that
They're like,
again.
He doesn't seem so great.
They do soon leave you after about the 5th game where you're not actually pulling your weight.
Oh, they get all the way to game 5? Okay, well now I'm in.
Yeah,
I figured after game 1 when I head charged in with the
no. See, that's the thing. No, don't do a Titan. You stay back behind them. Okay. Let them get all the kills and make them think that you are actually adding worth to the team.
So you have to scream about them stealing your kills for 5 games.
Yeah, you could do that.
Okay.
And then when it gets to the 5th game and you're the last man standing for all 5 rounds, then they see how bad you are.
Okay.
Do you need to play as a Revenant Hunter? Does that help sell the charade?
I think it does.
I feel like it has to. I mean, if you're not playing a Revenant Hunter with a hand cannon or 3, what are you doing? I mean, if you're not cosplaying as a tryhard, why even try?
Right? Yeah. No, it's.
And if for some reason you haven't, if you're still weekly challenge hunting, if there's still 1 or 2 you need, week 4 is entertain Lord Shax by going and playing Showdown. So if for some reason you've put it off or abandoned it without hope, you could
never realize it existed at all.
Exactly. You could go entertain Shax and he will be happy with you. He will pat you on the head and say, "Good job, son. You did well."
You did mediocre.
At this point, Shax should be trying to entertain me, as we have been killing gods and turning them into guns.
He's not entertained yet. Try harder. He cares not for your PvE exploits.
No.
Now, if we turn Lord Shax into a gun, what kind of gun would Lord Shax be?
Could be
Grenade
a
launcher.
grenade. Yeah, something to do with a grenade.
Yeah. The Forerunner. He would be the Forerunner with the catalyst. The last shot in every round is actually just a grenade.
And it just screams, yes! As it
Yeah,
races
that
toward the
gives
enemy.
you undeserved motivation every time you fire it.
Equipping this weapon doesn't boost your stats, but you feel like they've all been boosted.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you guys fans of Eververse?
Isn't that the massively multiplayer or online game with all the ships and the...
You're thinking EVE Online.
Oh,
What Nitedemon is talking about is our favorite activity in Destiny 2, the one that gets the most attention and the most updates.
Yeah.
Hunter dress up hour?
If it doesn't have a cape, I'm not wearing it. Neither should you.
Exactly.
So what should I be spending my hard-earned bright dust and my possibly gotten silver on? And if you haven't picked up your 700 bright dust this week, as you should be doing every week till Witch Queen, go to Eververse, pick up that free 700 bright dust. It's there every week for you. And the Nitedemon will tell you. Yep. And Nitedemon will tell you what you need to spend it on to be more beautiful.
Well, Nitedemon would say,
what should I be using it?
And play the game and get the engrams to drop and get stuff out of the engrams. But
what is there that tempt me?
If you want to actually buy it, and I'm already stumped by the first name for the silver list, so this is your real world money that you can buy silver in game. The Lagomorphia Luminara, which is your exotic emote for 1,000 silver. We have the You Think You're Big Time, which is the ornament for the Xenophage. That is 700 silver. Lunar Tiger Shell, which is your exotic ghost shell, which actually looks pretty cool. It's kind of that Chinese jade green ornament around the outside and a little tiger sitting on the top. That's 600 silver. And then we have the Jubilant Decree, which is your legendary emote for 500 silver. And then we went over last week, if you're new to the game, you don't really need to buy the concentrated matter gem, the glimmer shard, or the scavenger's boon with your bright dust, because you can get things on your ghosts and that will give you more glimmer, more shards and upgrade materials if you play the game. So don't buy them. Don't waste your bright dust on those. What you could waste your bright dust on is the Origami Crane, which is your exotic emote for 3,250 bright dust. Your Taurus Shell, which is your exotic ghost shell for 2,850 bright dust. Your Lunar Tiger Projection, which is your legendary ghost projection for 1,500 bright dust. We have the Grayscale Undergrowth, which is your legendary shader for 300 bright dust. The Festive Sparks, which is your legendary emote for 3,250 bright dust. And we have some class-based items to adorn your exotics with. So for your Omni Oculus, for the hunters, you have the Leering Marrow. For your Titans, you have the Elite Steps for your Path of the Burning Steps. And for your Warlocks, you have the Rosine Drone, which is your Warlock Mantle of Battle Harmony ornament. And they will all be for 1,500 bright dust. We have the Lampion Shell, which is your exotic ghost shell. 2,850 bright dust, which is a ghost in a lampshade. Interesting.
Your dulcet tones aren't talking me into this.
I love the hesitancy at the end there.
A lampshade, or is that ghost wearing a skirt? I can't tell.
It's a cape.
If it's not wearing a cape, I'm not wearing it. Got it.
Yeah. We have the Taurus Firecracker exotic Sparrow for 2,500 bright dust.
Perfect.
And we have the ship to match. So if you want the Taurus Rocketeer, that will be for 2,000 bright dust. And then we have another ornament, which is Spark from Bone, your ornament for the Trinity Ghoul for 1,250 bright dust. And then finally, a projection for your ghosts, the Lantern Projection for 1,500. So there you go. That's the good stuff and the bad stuff that you can get next week, and I'll let you decide which is which.
If we rephrase the lampshade as a cape, you have me interested.
You had me at cape.
I just want my hunter to look like Doctor Strange. Is that so much to ask, Bungie? Honestly.
Oh, if they put in a Doctor Strange cape, I'd never take it off.
See?
Just saying.
What's the worst case scenario? They're going to get bought by Disney? Welcome to the club, honestly.
They're almost bought by Microsoft, so.
Yeah, right? Give old Bill Gates half a chance. You're back with us now.
But on the plus side, I've finally finished turning in all of my gunsmith tokens for the season.
I can confirm getting through about 35,000 of these. It's much less soul crushing than turning in Vanguard tokens. The fact that I can hit the button once and then get the engram and then do it again, way better than smashing that button way too many times where it misses half your button clicks to turn in tokens and then pick up engrams.
That fractithis stuff we were donating.
Yes, that was it. That was the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you could only donate 1,000 at a time, and I wanted to throw my mouse across the room.
But to be fair, like, how often does that happen on, like, let's say, an hourly basis? Like, how often do you want to fling something across the room in anger? I'm assuming about every 30 seconds.
I was going a bit more conservatively with once every 10 minutes.
Yep. Nope. Perfect. Okay.
Just, you make an excellent point, and I would feel pride in you for that, but the only thing I feel is boiling, unyielding rage.
And he's going to throw something else.
Yeah.
You've triggered him again.
And if you can post the source of that reference in the comments, we'll give you free frozen points. Good for the murder of virtual murder of one of our admins. So good luck. Let us know.
You too can stand near someone with a rocket launcher.
Yeah, you can pop a bubble over any of the admins while they fire the Galahorn.
Or if you want to have a little 80s tinge disco action, the sleeper stimulant.
yeah. If you want to make a disco ball, fire the sleeper stimulant inside the bubble.
You know, one of the funniest things with firing, like for the Galahorn anyway, is that when you know you're a Titan and you jump up in the air and you see yourself slowly like moves to the side of a post and you think, I've pushed that button already, but by the time I get to that post, that rocket's going to hit that and I'm going to die. That's my new thing lately, that I jump up and to the side and I push the button to fire the rocket because I've got the enemy in my sights. But that post comes a lot quicker than I thought it would.
That's why the Zetaphage is a wonderful gun. You can use it indiscriminately and not have to worry about blowing yourself up.
Indeed. So, you guys do any lost sectors lately?
Hello!
Have you been doing your lost sectors? Have you been doing your legendary and your masters? Because you need to do your legendary and your masters. Did you know this?
I'm going to guess for Pan, not since the Telesto Catalyst dropped, and for me, not since I got the Titan armor and haven't thought about them since.
Somebody tried to convince me to do them, and I told them no.
So, Nitedemon, why should we be doing these Master and Legend lost sectors?
Fuzko, thank you very much for asking. It is because there are triumphs linked to these lost sectors, and if you do it on Master and you do it solo and flawless, there's an achievement for that. There's also one for doing it on Legendary separately as well. Doesn't matter whether you do it solo, flawless on Legendary, that's just the Master one. They want you to kind of take all the bullets and kill everything and without dying. But it's something that Bungie don't necessarily tell you about, and when they roll the new season over with the Witch Queen, these lost sectors will probably be going away out of the rotation. And let's say, for instance, they take away Europa. So those Europa lost sectors will be out of the rotation. You won't be able to do those again, so the triumphs will be gone. So my thinking for the last month has been to do anything that is coming out of rotation that I know I can do at this point in time, like these legendary lost sectors and the master lost sectors. So they've got those triumphs out of the way before Bungie go, oh, by the way, that thing that you've been playing that's out of rotation, yeah, we're going to take that away from you. So like the Tangled Shore, that one they've got on the Tangled Shore. What is it called? It's not in the rotation for next week. But that one, there's the legendary triumph that you can do, and then there's the solo master one. But because that's being taken away and we know about it, you can kind of get it done. But if the Moon and Europa and Dreaming City come out of the rotation next season and don't come back before they take it out of the game, you kind of lost out on triumph points.
And those are really important. That's actually when I married my wife, she asked me how many triumph points I had, and I had to go run lost sectors until she agreed to marry me. So, please, by all means, for the
do it for the kids.
Do it for the kids.
Yeah.
Nothing. Crickets.
To be fair, I had to
To be fair, half of our show is either Respawn talking or crickets. There really is no middle ground.
Okay, that's fair.
I think that's why I'm lost. That I'm like, do I continue talking?
You're just waiting for someone to talk on top of you about a topic for 15 minutes that you don't care about and isn't related
just
to
so that I
anything.
can get on with it. Yeah.
You clearly have an agenda. We're trying to assist you in sticking to an agenda about tips, tricks, and why Battlegrounds is coming back. And
It's a cabal are filthy animals. We need to murder all of them. That's why. Over and over again.
Which has completely thrown both of us off our games.
Yeah. We're not derailing hard enough.
So your lost sectors for next week. Monday the 31st of January is the K1 crew quarters on the Moon, giving you chess
Okay, that's
pieces.
really nice, but how do you feel about playing the new Concerned Ape game, Haunted Chocolatier? It's going to be sort of like Stardew Valley Light.
What are you talking about?
I don't know, but
You're doing your respawn. Oh, yeah,
farming.
I shouldn't have said anything, should I?
Nope.
Did you figure out which bachelor or bachelorette your children are marrying?
So Tuesday the 1st of February would be the K1 Revelations on the Moon, giving you your helmets. Wednesday the 2nd. Huh?
Said all that's getting cut, huh? All right.
Yep. Wednesday the 2nd of February will be the Concealed Void on Europa, giving your legs. Thursday the 3rd of February will be Bunker E15 on Europa, giving your arms. Friday the 4th.
So would you call that Arms Day?
Yep.
Okay.
Thursday's Arms Day. Friday the 4th of February will be the Petition on Europa, giving your chess pieces. Saturday the 5th will be Bay of Drowning Wishes on the Dreaming City, giving your helmets. Sunday the 6th.
Head Day sounds great.
Head Day, yeah. Sunday the 6th will be Chamber of Starlight on the Dreaming City, giving your legs. And Monday will be Aphelios Rest on the Dreaming City. Monday would be Arms Day as well.
Perfect.
There you go. And don't forget, whichever one is the legendary Lost Sector one day will turn over to be the Master on the next day. So Monday's one, with it being the K1 crew quarters, giving you chess. Tuesday's reset will still be the K1 crew quarters, giving you chess pieces, but it would be the Master, and so on and so forth. And again, keep an eye on those if you want to get those triumphs done. And check out the guides that I've listed with each day from Time Sausage Gaming, PV Shifty, and Abbey Hour. And we have links to Legionless channel and Ebontis' channel, which Pan is a very good friend of Ebontis.
That's right, yeah.
We'll tell you how good this guy is at giving you guides for just new players coming into the game. Really good guides for anybody that wants to get into doing it.
Yeah, he actually just did a whole 42-minute video on prep for Witch Queen, and I'm sure it's amazing. I can't sit through it because I don't have 42 minutes to do it. But and he's actually the only reason I know what the TWAB says this week. So
it's neither Deacon nor Panoramix approved.
Right.
I mean, in terms of content and quality, I do enjoy Ebontis' videos. Especially, he's the reason I made it through all those astral alignment finding things. His videos were great.
Yeah.
High five, A+ gold star.
Yep.
And speaking of that, don't forget we've got 3 weeks now until the Witch Queen. So you've got 3 weeks to do all your Shattered Realm stuff. So that's collecting all the...
or 3 weeks until I don't have to worry about Shattered Realm anymore. What I'm actually hearing.
Your Ascendant Anchors. So if you want to go in and collect those and any of the secret chests to get any of the other stuff. So get all your triumphs done for the season. So you've got 3 weeks and there are 3 rotations. And Bontis has got guides, which we do have linked in our show notes for each week, to do them solo, legendary, flawless versions of them. You only need to do one solo and flawless to get the triumph, but the other two, if you want to, you can take in a team and get it done, and that will give you, because I think you do need to do them on legendary for the triumph to unlock the seal for the season, I believe. So you've got 3 weeks, so you've got to get on and get all those done.
You have to. My team says so.
Yeah, obviously. Please. If you don't, why are you even here?
So would you like to know what you get from turning in a little over 50,000 gunsmith materials in terms of enhancement cores?
Go on then.
About 280. I ended up with 281 enhancement cores after turning in about 50,000 gunsmith tokens, breaking down all but probably 24 of the weapons that I got, which Dim tells me there's a thumbs up on them, so they've gone into the vault to be sorted out later.
You
So
actually
I'm not
had
gonna
space
say-
in the vault, though.
Oh yeah, no, I did a vault purge. I used Pan's vault cleaning service and said, basically used Dim to say, is this on the wish list? Is this masterworked? And is it something, is it a handful of things that I know and care about that I put on actual characters, and just purge the rest of it. So I think I went into this with like 420 out of 500 vault spaces available, or I mean clear. Yeah, it was 425. I had 80 spaces to play with. So
Okay.
I've thrown things in there and gone, I'm going to throw you in there, and then I'll go over to is it D2 recipes or D2 gunsmith, the one where you can compare the two, and I'll be like, here's the 6 versions of the Cartesian coordinate I have now. Which one or two of these do I want to keep? Because I realized I use about 6 guns, and I don't need to keep all the rest of these. They're never going to get used, as evidenced by them being 1100, and soon they'll be kicked to the new floor. So I'm not saying don't waste your time turning all the materials, but maybe don't waste your time turning all the materials.
Well, like
So it
it's not
wasn't nearly-
bad. Like
it wasn't
like
nearly as
I'm
simple
perpetually
as
low
small.
on like consumable like glimmer and
Shards. It's all about
Sure.
the shards.
yeah, shards
Yeah.
and the enhancement cores, right? Like I'm perpetually low on those because I upgrade everything that I'm like, that might be nice. And then I find out it's garbage. So but you don't know until you try. So, turning in the gunsmith materials did give me more of those materials so that I can upgrade other stupid weapons next season and say, oh, these are in fact garbage. I don't need them, and then delete them.
And the circle of life continues.
Circle of life continues. The antelope eats the grass, then we shoot it with the stupid gun that we got from Zur, and then we dismantle the gun from Zur because it was in fact stupid.
You then also dismantle the
Do
antelope.
I need to do that in like a Darth Vader voice? Would that be better?
I could do that in post.
Okay, fair enough.
Will I? Maybe not.
No,
But I
you
can
shouldn't.
do it.
I can do this. I'm not going to.
Antelope eats the grass, then we shoot it with the stupid gun that we got from Zur, and then we dismantle the gun from Zur because it wasn't that stupid.
I did get about 1,800 legendary shards as well out of this whole thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it is worth it for the shards. We don't talk about how many materials I have because we just don't talk about that. But yeah. I mean, it's worth doing for the materials, and it's worth doing because it's not nearly as soul crushing as the Vanguard tokens were.
Mhm.
And as you trash the guns, it gives you more gunsmith materials, and then you can break those down in an endless cycle.
Actually, in compared to the Vanguard tokens, this was downright pleasant.
Yeah, agreed.
So, as you guys are here, are you ready to talk about this week at Bungie?
Absolutely. That's what I came here for.
Yeah, Panther Battlegrounds was coming back with new versions. It got so excited he couldn't contain himself.
Right?
So I guess we'll before we get to Battlegrounds, I guess we'll talk about the ritual reputations that they're mucking around with, confirming what I've felt like this entire stupid season as I'm trying to get my Vanguard rank around a second time to get the ornament for the stupid rocket launcher that I don't care about, except for it's the 75th weekly challenge, so I can get my pile of bright dust. So they were looking at the data for season 15, which is our current season, and Guardians were approaching the new Vanguard ranks differently than what the models initially assumed. according to their findings, players were running more strikes than anticipated and were optimizing for the new activity streak at a lower rate as well. So they were running more strikes, but optimizing poorly. So running more strikes, but not in the way Bungie had assumed they would. So we've run
How
more
do you
strikes.
optimize poorly for running strike? What does that mean?
Yeah,
for the activity streak. So it's like people were running things, but they weren't running them like to optimize their usage of the streak because nobody understands it. Because I feel like Bungie has never really
I
explained
didn't even know that
well.
existed until I read or listened to Abantis read me that twab.
Well, there you go. Or it's unclear at all. This is even a thing you should be doing.
To kind of clear this up, I think what happened at the beginning of the season, you remember when people were grinding out to get the rocket launcher and the ornament, and they were saying if you do so many strikes to get to the point of getting your 5-game streak, and then jumping into Nightfalls, and the higher tier of Nightfalls gave you more progression towards like getting the reputation through Shacks. I vaguely remember people talking
Not
about
Shacks.
that. Not
Zavala.
Shacks, sorry.
Never Shacks.
You can't win strikes, and this isn't for Shacks.
That's where we're going wrong. So yeah, with Zavala.
If you're going to Shacks to get your Vanguard rank up, you've gone wrong from the start. We can't help you.
And I can't delete all of this out now.
Yay!
So yeah, I think that's what was happening. People had figured out to get to the Ascendancy rocket launcher and the ornament quicker. You got your 5-game streak. You then went into higher tier Nightfalls, and it got done really quickly. I vaguely remember.
So I have to do 5 regular strikes.
Well, you
then
could
go
do
a high level nightfall.
You could do the Nightfalls if you wanted to, but let's face it, you can do those strikes a lot quicker to get the streak.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what people were doing. Then going into the higher tier Nightfalls to progress that streak even faster. But then it kind of got lost over the length of time that we've had this season. It was never explained to us from Bungie to say to do this. It was only if you were in the know of to get the Ascendancy and the ornament quicker that you knew to do that. But then, it wasn't explained.
The reason I'm having so much trouble with this is it said that they're models. I don't believe that there are models, and I think they're lying to us, and I'm a little hurt by that.
I think they thought people would go into the Nightfalls and just stay in the Nightfalls and do either higher tier ones or just stay in a continual loop of farming Nightfalls, which would be a lot more progression than just playing in strikes.
Yeah.
There was a lot of assumption on Bungie's part for the progression.
I think they were relying on their YouTube community to tell people what to do instead of just telling people what to do, and that's probably not the best option for a video.
No, but the thing is, the YouTube community did tell people in the first week when a lot more people were figuring out other things and didn't want to concentrate on getting the rocket launcher. So that's why it's been lost over the last couple of months. I hadn't even remembered that until reading this and going, oh, yeah, I vaguely remember that was the reason.
Yeah, I remember streaks were a thing, but I never feel like I see evidence of the streaks in the game. So just because that little number at the end of what I'm getting for rep is a little bit higher, I'm not paying that much attention to that number.
It definitely was.
I'm going to pick up my pile of blues and glimmer to put into my vault. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
So just for clarification that anybody doesn't know, is that there are streaks that are added to Gambit, Strikes, and Crucible. And the longer that you stay in the playlist, the more reputation you can gain from that playlist. In theory, I'm saying in theory because we're learning a lot here from Bungie that they had models.
Yeah. How many days before the end of the? Never mind.
Like 23, plenty of days.
And the longest season in their history.
So if you play for like 5 games in the same playlist without visiting a different location, you can go to the tower, you can go to the helm. You can't go and visit Spider on the Tangled Shore because that wipes out your streak, because that counts as a different location. But you can go to the tower, you can go to the helm, decrypt engrams, and come back out and go in the playlist. You can even swap characters. You can go on a different character and continue that streak on that character. So, for example, for the last couple of weeks, I've been doing all strikes on one character, picking up bounties, turning those in, swapping over to the next character, continuing my streak on that character on those, turning the bounties in, going to the next character, and so on and so forth, and then just changing each playlist so that I can get the bounties to turn in for Bright Dust, get the engrams for turning in the 8-wing turning 8 bounties in to get the large pile of bright dust, which is 120.
Do you have this on a spreadsheet that you run? Just curious, like as you're playing, so you know what the next step is.
No, it's all in my head. I just
God.
That's it.
Oof. That you know what I want to do? I want to shoot the aliens with the gun and get things for it.
Yeah.
Is there a good way to do that without having to remember 16 steps to optimize it? No. Okay. Cool.
What you're gonna need first is my optimization spreadsheet that I've put together.
Available on Etsy.
That I've managed to put together a master list of all of the other spreadsheets you're gonna need to properly optimize your Destiny playtime.
And it will make Bungie happy.
Because no one wants to do a single more strike than they absolutely have.
Right. Like, oh God. Why? Why do they do like? And then they get mad. They're like, oh, well, this isn't working like we thought it would. Well, yeah, because there's 68 steps to get 4 extra experience for a strike.
One of which is terribly visible in the game itself.
The only thing less rewarding than running strikes is playing Gambit.
You shut up. Horde mode is amazing.
Gambit is just Battleground with a minor objective. That's all Gambit is.
Yeah.
Sorry, Peroty, continue.
No. Oh God, I'm not going to make it. Nope, didn't make it.
So, so they use the data from this season, to look at their model and adjust it, and they've retuned it. Don't worry. The gist of this is they're bringing it more in line with Crucible. And I mean, I play Crucible. I hate playing strikes, so of course Crucible feels like it's going faster.
It does go faster.
Yeah. So what they say is next season your Vanguard progression should feel like it's going about as fast as Crucible progression this season. Like they should be on par. Like it shouldn't feel like such a slog to get through Vanguard things. So, they've tweaked the Nightfall multipliers and streak amounts and Nightfall completion quality bonuses and blah, 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 blah. The gist of it is you should see more progression in your Vanguard. It shouldn't feel like such a slog to get through it. More on par with Crucible.
Sorry, what is blah, blah, blah? We don't normally have this unless these two are around. Have they done this to you?
Yes. Whatever it is, yes, I take full credit or responsibility.
It just Vanguard reputation on completion, activity streak amounts, Nightfall multipliers, Nightfall completion. Basically, every part of Vanguard, Nightfall, anythings. Basically, we looked at all these numbers, we tweaked them. They could have just said your Vanguard rank will go up as quickly as your Crucible rank. Period. The end. Similarly, Trials of Osiris was 30% slower than anticipated. Who knew what they were
built it like it? Ford getting upset that well, we put the governor on the car. We don't understand why it's going slower. You morons!
It's almost like they're artificially inflating their playtime for people.
Yeah, I mean, wasn't this the first part of Trials where we had the progression at all? Like, isn't this the first thing where we even had progression?
But they had models. They had algorithms, right? Like we looked at the models. What models were they? Were they stupid too? Because it sort of sounds like they were stupid.
They were all Instagram influencers. It's fine.
Oh, this is so enraging.
Nitedemon, we may have made a mistake by bringing the scientists on the episode where they were talking about models and data and.
I have done data modeling, and what these people have done is written on the walls in crayon and called it a model.
Nitedemon, we've woken the scientists.
I are an algorithm.
I still stand by their best weekend in Trials was whenever they immediately put you into a new group when you went flawless. That was the best Trials weekend. They shouldn't have futzed with it, and now this is where we live.
You're not meant to be here. You're dying.
Oh, yeah. You're still alive. Congratulations, buddy. Way to go. You sound phenomenal.
Go and sit in the corner.
I feel great.
His insides feel like burning.
That's not true. They don't burn. They're just going in 2 different directions constantly.
They're gonna meet in the middle.
Respawn is here because I suppose he wouldn't let his streak go.
Right.
He has to be here for every episode.
Nolan Ryan ain't got nothing on him.
He needs that extra activity bonus streak for his podcast completion. That's all.
Yeah, right. Bungie looked at the algorithm and thought,
Now, if only I could get a streak completion for this Dares of Eternity.
I'm just here
Sorry,
for the
Nitedemon.
catalyst.
I know
No,
you're going to have to remove that or mute it out.
He's just counting the Dolphins, just like Bungie's feeling that they're not valuing winning rounds enough. And guess what, Bungie? I don't either.
I don't. Yeah.
Now, especially players getting 20-round wins at seven ticket wins. Yeah, Bungie, no one's doing that. We don't care about those people. I'm sorry, we just don't.
That's 1% of the player base.
No,
has this problem.
I get that. They've got to reward the people to stay in the playlist and play. But I think what they'd made the mistake on is that I think they thought there would be a lot more engagement continuously throughout the season for people wanting to go in and play. Now there is, sort of, but I think when a lot of the population dropped off and the people that still wanted to go in there and play and found that it's just as hard as when it was in previous seasons, that's not an incentive to come back in, which is why the reputation isn't going as fast as I think their model suggested.
All right, and just so I'm clear, because I may have this incorrect, what you get for ranking up and is every time you go up a level, you get the engram at the top left of Zavala's little menu, right?
And
that is
you get
way
something
underpowered.
on the track. You get something on the track from Saint 14.
Oh, okay.
We're talking about trials.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, my
Yep.
bad.
So you get something on the track, and then you can get an engram as well.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and then the engram you can either just turn in for whatever, or any of the available weapon pool. You basically once you have one of them and they're in your pool, you can go to Saint 14 and say, give me more of those. Give me another messenger, give me 17 more Shira's Wraths, whatever that thing is. Next season it's going to be give me all the summoners.
Yeah.
So
I may actually dip foot into trials for that auto rifle.
Yeah, so honestly, the only reason to play is basically to make that rank go up, to earn those engrams, to then focus on here's the weapon I want. It actually lets you focus it, unlike Iron Banner, unlike turning in gunsmith tokens. You can actually say, here's what I want, give me more of them, which is nice. And that's the only reason I've played trials as much as I have this season.
But the problem is that progression stalls out after a point, and it just feels like such a slog that it's not worth the time for the engram.
Yeah. Which is what I'll suggest now. If you're coming into the game now, don't touch trials. I'd say just keep away from it and do other things at the moment. But next season, when it has its big refresh and we get new weapons in the loot pool, there'll be an influx of players coming back to play the Witch Queen, plus new players coming in.
They'll all be just as terrible as you are, and you won't feel bad about yourself.
So for the first 2, maybe 3 months, you will stand a better chance at progressing your ranks again, because they're increasing the ranks in trials to get more engrams and better chances at the weapons. So next season will probably be better for you to kind of go and get engrams and earn stuff with him.
Better is a very subjective term, audience. Don't read too much into that.
With the bounties though, like you can actually go in and just treat it like any other, like honestly treat it like PvP, especially on weekends where there's a solo queue. You can just solo queue in and treat it like PvP, because a lot of those bounties are, get kills with auto rifles. Yeah, and a lot of them are team based. So as long as someone on your team is doing a reasonably good job, which I played a lot. I played almost exclusively solo trials, whether there was a solo playlist or not. There's a lot of, you're going to have people that are at least, again, they're there for a reason. They're all going to be better than you are, likely. And they're going to help you complete those bounties and earn those ranks. So it's worth doing that. And even just the getting the extra boost for, I think it's winning some number of winning some number of rounds individually. So it's like just like the season before, when you could just play for that 3-win reward individually. You can just beat your head against the wall, get on with some buddies, and just laugh it up and go have a good time with it, and you're still getting something out of it. There's still a trade-off there, and because you can focus it, it's a slog to get the thing you need to focus, but at least you can absolutely assure yourself, I'm going to get what I want. I'm going to get a summoner from this, versus I'm going to get some piece of armor I do not care about.
And Respawn would like people to know that it's... There's Respawn's opinion for you for this week. But I think... Great. Yeah. I think what I found in the last couple of weeks, because I had dipped my toe into trials just to see what it is, and it is literally stacked teams in your first game again. It's not the enjoyable part of it. I had to go in there and get the 7 wins to get the track.
Ooh, you waited way too long to do that. Never do that late in the season. Trials you want to preload early in any given season.
I can hold my own. We got our 7, but I'm just saying, when you come up
the
against
rest of us cannot.
you come up against three teams, it might take you 7 games to get that one win where you've all got your super. So, but yeah, it's better at the beginning of the season. I mean, I even managed to go flawless at the beginning of the season. I couldn't believe it. I've never done it since. So, but yeah,
that's what Nihilus Queen. Yeah, Pan and I were playing with Nitedemon last night, and he said Queen Anne's and Brittle were able to go flawless one weekend early in the season. They were like, we got to 5 games, we didn't say anything. We got to 6 games, nobody said anything. We got to 7 games and lost our minds. They were like, never been close since. But they were like, it is possible early in the season. You can sort of look out. And the 3 of them play enough together. They're a good team. It's not like 3 randoms going full hope for the best.
Yeah, I did the random route, but that was good fun.
Especially on, say, the Summoner weekend coming up in the next season.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of us PvE folks who are going to be diving headfirst back into trials, much like we did for the Reed's Regret.
Yeah.
And that's going to dilute out a lot of those PvP tryhards.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's almost like if they give like rewards worth chasing, like people will engage more with that activity. It's a crazy thought.
Wait, are you
Don't
saying,
get me wrong, I haven't looked at the models, but
are you saying that people playing a looter shooter might want, what is it called? Loot? No.
Well, I know, right? Crazy.
I'm going to have to see your model, sir. Perhaps your
You show me
algorithm.
your math. You put it on this piece of paper. You show your work.
Well, I can show you that at the end of each round, you're going to get a 21 extra reputation, up from 105 reputation a match. I'm sorry, up to 105. They're going to give you more reputation after matches. That's really what it is. This now, I love this. This ideally speeds up Trials reputation gain by 50% or more who did not regularly reset their ticket in an attempt to go flawless. So ideally, you could get 50% more rank progression if you're not resetting your ticket, which we are.
Have you optimized your whatever correctly? If you haven't optimized it, they're going to be upset with you. Please be sure to optimize. Check with Dado.
Get your spreadsheet out. And they do say, they weren't able to do anything about accelerated reputation gains for the Witch Queen because of reasons. So they can't, mess with the actual reputation gains, but they can at least bump up what you're getting, and maybe you'll get a thing. And then they tell you that the summoner's coming back, and no one cares about the preceding 4 paragraphs because they just saw a picture of the summoner and said, "Ooh, I want that, please, yes."
So what do the other paragraphs say?
They then say below the summoner. So what are we not changing? Crucible reputation gain, not touching it. They're going to look at it along Iron Banner vendor changes in the future. The Gambit reputation gain was about 30% slower than desired, but with the Gambit revamp coming in the Witch Queen, we wanted to wait a full season to look at those models and analyze playstyles and patterns before making changes. So basically they're saying that, Crucible seems in a good spot. I mean, that's sort of how I feel from playing and what Bungie's saying. Trials and Gambit are both about 30% slower than they would like it to be. But Gambit they're not touching because they're going to revamp Gambit, so people will hate it in a new way. Is basically all I get from this.
It's staying at 30%, even though it's getting a revamp, and then they'll see. Basically, that's what that is.
Which they're going to come back and say, hey, people didn't engage with Gambit in the way we thought they would because everybody wants to hate Gambit for a new and exciting reason. Mm-hmm. And lastly, really, you could ignore everything we said up to this point besides summoners coming back, but learn that, lastly, we know how annoying it is not to remember which reputation bonus is active by Thursday or Friday. Starting with Witch Queen, when double ranks or rewards are active, those activities will have a modifier on the launch screen to remind you. Big things really do come in small packages.
That is amazing.
yeah, lead
Is
with
it
that.
going to be like the Crucible rank up? Like, is it going to be a banner that blocks out everything else on the screen? I truly hope so.
It's going to be Shax just screaming at you. You can get more rewards. Yeah. Just telling me what I can do to get my double or rewards or rank in the game all week long.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Bungie. I feel like you shouldn't have buried this, and you should have done this. I don't know,
This
6
is
months
Stockholm
ago.
syndrome. This is all this is. We're now thanking our captors for giving us
highlighted at the top of the screen,
Mm-hmm.
big bold letters. We're finally giving you the quality of life thing you've wanted since this has been implemented.
Mm-hmm. They should have just emblazoned this on the summoner, and then people would have seen it. I can't tell you how happy this makes me, but again, I think you're right. It's Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah. This is what this is. This is a quality of life change that we should have had at the beginning. That they're like, oh yeah, no, that's a great idea. We'll do that 6 seasons from now.
You know what also is a great change, Pan, that we've all been waiting for? That I know Fuzko has just been thirsting for a new opportunity.
Oh yeah,
4 new battlegrounds. 4 of them.
Birdo grounds. I'm up front.
I am stoked. I am pumped, and I am going to leave those activities every time they pop up.
Yeah, but the new ones.
Yeah, especially the new ones.
I
don't want to know what's in there. It could be scary.
There's a behemoth and an oracle on Nessus. There's a hailstone on Europa and a foothold in Cosmodrome.
Am I the behemoth? Like, because that's now they're using the same words again. Dear Bungie English department, please assert your dominance. Use better words.
Now,
give me your address and I will send you a thesaurus.
I'm a bit confused because we already have 2 on Nessus, 1 on Europa and 1 on the Cosmodrome. Have they just changed the names of these?
All in on Nessus. No, they're new. They're new Nitedemon. They're new. So it should be a different part of Nessus because apparently they're going to invest all of they're going all in on Nessus. They're like, here, Nessus or bust.
Okay.
Which means they're going to take Nessus out of the game next because that's where they put all the resources and remove it in 3 months.
Like, come on, guys. Let's stop taking things away. I understand the UI gets crowded, but don't you have a department that does?
Again,
I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe
are you back to Fuzko's comment of "I'd like to see your model, sir"?
Yeah.
Yeah, the part I don't love is they're going to stick those into the Vanguard Strikes playlist and rename it Vanguard Ops. So if I load the new Vanguard Ops playlist, I'm going to get a strike or a battleground.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if I leave one of them and go back into it, that doesn't break my streak, right? Because like Fuzko said, I don't really want to do a battleground. I want to do a strike. To be fair, I don't want to do either, but I need to do things that require me playing this activity. So if I have to, I'm going to at least do the less terrible version of them. I don't.
Because I remember quite a few of those battlegrounds being unapologetic slogs.
Yeah.
And the rewards you got for that much playtime was not worth the effort.
The downtime between engagements really killed it for me. The fact that it's like, fight here, now go walk over to this next area and fight there. Just give me one fight and let me finish it.
These aren't new battlegrounds, so there's not going to be 8 in total. There's only going to be the 4 that we currently have. Because at the moment, they are called Behemoth, Hailstone, Foothold, and Oracle.
So when Bungie says, as a reminder, the 4 new battlegrounds coming with the new season are the same 4 battlegrounds we already have and you've already been playing for seasons?
Unless they've tweaked them and changed them, and they're keeping the names.
Maybe.
Okay, that's cool. Now they do say the actual battlegrounds, because these are not battlegrounds actual. So the actual battlegrounds activities are the direct launch / no champion versions of the battleground, as these match the length and difficulty of most strikes in the playlist. Okay, yeah, so it's to be the battlegrounds, I guess, without the champions. So it's more like a strike, and the regular direct launch battlegrounds will be more like a Nightfall with the champions that you're also not going to play because there's no reason to. I'm scratching my head a lot in all of this.
Those are certainly choices that they're able to make.
I'll tell you what I'm quite disappointed about, because I've been going back and doing some of the old triumphs for Season of the Chosen right up till now that I've missed out on. There was one that says defeat Battlegrounds champions whilst wearing Season of the Chosen seasonal armor, and the top tier is to do 100, and I'm like, Jesus. So I wonder.
No.
I wonder.
You obviously weren't optimizing correctly, sir.
I thought, okay, so one piece of gear will give you, if you kill one champion, it will give you one. If you have two pieces of gear, so on and so forth, because that's what they've done in other triumphs. That the more stuff that you're wearing, it counts towards. Like I said with that ether harvest, I thought it was do the actual ether harvest. If you do the ether harvest, it gives you one, but if you shoot the blue balls, it gives you significantly more. They just don't explain it like that. So I'm thinking, okay, so I went on my hunter, bought a full set from just turning in the engrams and got the set. Went and did a Battlegrounds, killed 3 champions. I got progression for 3. And I'm like, I'm wearing a full set. Why is this like this is? Why are you doing? But I'm up to 41 of 100. So do I keep going? Or do I not keep going?
You don't start it to begin with.
Yeah.
No, this is not an investment of your time. You need to.
I started already.
The triumph
worth it?
The triumph score you're going to get is not worth the slog to get there.
It says it gives me 20 points in total.
Well, I mean, what else could you do for 20 points?
Blink
It would be
twice if you need help, sir.
You know I need help.
I do. Please call Pan's vault clearing and Destiny Addiction hotline at 1-800 oh god, why is that thrall chasing me?
But I didn't play enough Battlegrounds to start off.
Nobody did. Like, you're not alone. This is not like don't beat yourself up for not playing Battlegrounds. It was not a fun activity.
Oh, it was absolutely unfun. That was
that
was the first seasonal title I didn't get.
Yeah. See, the problem with Battlegrounds is everyone, and I do mean everyone, knows that Firefight in Halo exists, which is a fun activity that you can load into, and you're just fighting your way through things, nonstop enemies with horde after horde of enemies. And we're like, oh, Battlegrounds, this sounds like that. And it was nothing like that.
While I've got you guys here, what you're saying is there's no chance whatsoever I could convince you to go and play Battlegrounds so that you could help me get the triumph for completing all missions on the Battlegrounds playlist without any one of your fire team members dying. It's worth 5 points.
I'm gonna let you know. I'll play Battlegrounds with you, but I will be actively avoiding living longer than 30 seconds.
I know. That's why I haven't asked you previous.
You're a smart man. It's almost like you've met me before.
When you put it that way, can I earn Vanguard rep for playing Battlegrounds to get me closer to my stupid Ascendancy rocket launcher ornament?
Not right now. You can't.
No.
Then no, I'm not interested. I mean, I'll do it because I do things for you because you're like, we're going to do a hard thing. And I'm like, sure.
Yeah.
Just like you're like, hey, Blue and Peroty, we're going to do this whole Presage, Prestige, the harder version of it. And I'm not going to die, but none of us can do jumping puzzles. So that was really your own fault.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have. If I hadn't sat there for the 5 minutes and left you guys to try and do it, we would have got to the end and killed the boss.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. I'm still missing that one, by the way.
I bet you
I'll help you with it next weekend. Just let me know.
I did get an offer from somebody else on. I got a message. Who was it from? Mr. Miner sent me a message and say, "Hey, I heard that you might need help with this. I can do it. Hit me up. I will when you're on and I'm on."
What has your wife told you about playing with miners from America?
I know.
Yes, honestly, come on, man. We talked about this. There's a spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Did you not take the training?
Look, I'm not giving you my address. We'll be all right.
I have it, sir.
I know you have it.
I just have to go look it up.
So do we care about what they're doing in Nightfalls? I mean, because they've been slowly iterating on the pressures and challenges of Nightfalls, and they really want to tell us that who doesn't like getting yeeted 5 miles by Sadia? Everyone.
Yeah, I don't
Wait,
know how I feel about that one.
Are you telling me the knockback mechanic is annoying in a game where a lot of the weapons require you to be up close and personal with the enemy?
I wouldn't mind about that knockback mechanic, but if you're hiding behind a wall, that wall should block what they're doing.
Yeah.
I don't understand
physics
in
is
that
important.
corrupted strike. Yeah. It's like, why is the blast not going round the wall?
No, the knockback mechanic. No, shut up. The knockback mechanic needs to not happen when you're not on the freaking ground. If I'm in the air and you stomp the ground, that shouldn't touch me.
No, that's your fault for being in the air.
Yeah, we really should have. We talked about this. There's no reason for you to be there.
So Bungie is doing all this to say one big outlier was the strike-specific modifiers with damage boosts and other effects that enhanced boss attacks. Players didn't like those. They were generally inconsistent and were pushing tactical play rather than build crafting. So they're removing all of the boss-specific modifiers, starting at Witch Queen from hero on up, and they've added a new style of burn called acute burns. Oh, they're acute. Where it'll increase the player's
burn.
Means small.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the burns could be cute. Don't tell them how to be.
I will, absolutely. I worked with Fuzko, and he let me know that it's okay to tell people they're dumb and doing things incorrectly.
Okay.
Well, they were doing things incorrectly, but now they're going to increase the player's damage taken from a specific element by 50% and increase the damage done by 25%. So most Nightfalls already had the 25% damage received modifier. So this will be an across-the-board increase of the 25% damage in both directions for that element. So instead of just taking 25% extra damage, you're now going to take 50% extra damage, but you can then do 25% more damage to the enemy.
Now,
so
that's if
net neutral
algorithm is intact and it's not actually 25 times 25%.
Mm-hmm. It feels like it's just a net neutral. You're going to take 25% more, though you're still going to take 25% more damage than you're dishing out.
Yeah.
Does that science check out?
Yeah. No, when I heard that, I was like,
when I was reading it, I was thinking, that's the same, isn't it?
It's like we made a change for change's sake, but all the numbers are still. It's still a 2-to-1 ratio, so cool.
To me, it's not so much as the damage you're doing, especially in stuff like Master and Grandmaster difficulties. It's how you're going to have to mod your armor to survive. That's going to put an even heavier emphasis on stuff like Protective Light and using the proper elemental damage mitigators.
Yeah. But the higher up the Nightfall that you go, you're locked to loadout, so you can't kind of switch between, we know we're coming up against an arc boss here, and then the next ones are like Void. You've got to lock in what you can. So if you know that you're coming up against like the Sepkis this week, you've got Void Blasts from the Servitors, you've got Arc Blasts from the Knights. If this was the Nightfalls next season, you would only be able to spec into one of those to take less damage from. So you it's a bit harder to kind of spec into and have that locked loadout.
But Bungie wants you to build craft, guys. You're just not build crafting enough.
My Ashen Wake build begs to differ. I haven't shot a gun while using this build ever, and it's phenomenal.
I do like that build.
Really happy. Makes me really happy.
We did highlight that a couple of weeks ago, the Bravest Hero build. Yes.
Yep.
Sorry to Peroty.
No, it's fine. I was reading over this going, am I crazy, or is this just not really a thing? Like, are you not giving us anything?
You're right. Like when they were
like, am I missing something? Are we?
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it's that's why we talked to other humans and go, no, you're not crazy. This is just silly. And so the second thing they're doing is removing the seasonal strike modifier that we introduced in season 15 from Vanguard playlist to Nightfalls. These are the unique buffs and boosts that will aid you as you lean into combat themes of the season. For season 16, they are themed to the glaive and void usage. They'll rotate weekly and appear on all hero, legend, and master Nightfalls. We look forward to your feedback, and we're going to iterate. We will take your feedback and adjust our models. And
they won't. That's a lie.
and then they tell us what we're going to be fighting in the Nightfalls for. Which of course they give us pictures, and I'm sure everybody went, "Oh my god, that's the thing and the other thing," which I then had to go find someone else to tell me, like Paul Tasty or Nitedemon. So there's a stabby gun, and then there's a what looks like a sniper rifle, which I will never fire. So which two are these, Nitedemon? What am I going to be grinding Nightfalls for next season?
You're going to be grinding Nightfalls for the. I know it's the Silicon Neuroma, which is your sniper rifle, and these are both kinetics. And then there's a 600 RPM auto rifle, which is called I've forgotten.
The Duty Bound.
Yeah.
Duty Bound.
Duty Bound. Yep, that's right.
Both kinetic. So if they're bringing these back, do you think maybe they might be bringing them back as stasis? Because we haven't got a stasis.
Yeah, maybe. Stasis auto rifle I'd be down with, to be fair.
Yeah, that'd be fun. It would give the Duty Bound something. I remember liking it, but it's I've seen the point made that I think Massive Breakdown talked about it. I'm not sure. I'm sure other people have said the same thing. Between the Summoner and the Duty Bound, this is two 600 RPM auto rifles they're bringing into the game, and it's like, why now? I mean, the Summoner is a good gun, but it's like 600 RPM auto rifles aren't really in a great space. Auto rifles aren't really in a great space. So it's like, are they going to do? It's like, yeah, it's like, are they going to make a change this season to go, hey, you're going to want these. These are going to be in a good spot again, or are we doing, other than the anti-barrier? But we knew that was coming already. But is there some other reason they're bringing these archetypes back in, or is it just they were like, let's?
You mean did they put thought into what they were doing before they did it? I'm going to go with probably not.
Correct. Yeah.
I think that they probably saw that they had access to these models in the database. They were from two strikes that we just got rid of, like Sunset. So the Pyramidian dropped you the sniper, and the other one
was the one on Titan with the big eyeball.
Yes, Savathun Song.
Savathun, yeah.
So yeah, they had them in the loophole. So. They could update them, put new perks in the perk.
Yeah, they could definitely refresh it and make it good, right? Like,
and I think if they're doing that, there's like a hand cannon. Was it the FDA or something, which was from the other strike that you could do?
The Cabal guy.
Yeah, on Mars.
Kick you around in the ditch.
Yeah, I mean, they had a few weapons that you could kind of get from strike-specific loot in Destiny 2, which is something that they kind of rolled over from Destiny 1, but they didn't. I don't think they embraced it as much, but we're just putting it into the Nightfall loot pool, so it's any Nightfall. It's not a strike-specific loot these days. I've got a quick question though. Seeing as that we're leaning into Void and the Glaive next season, do you think that the exotic gauntlets? Do you think the exotic gauntlets for the Titans, the Stronghold, will also be able to maximize your guard on and block immediately after guarding, like a sword does with the Glaive?
Have they confirmed that it can block?
Yes, it does everything. As far as I know, that it blocks, it hits.
Yeah, but the flavor text on the gloves specify a sword. Now I know that glaives didn't exist, but it does specify a sword, so they'd have to change the flavor text if it. Yeah,
but they could update the flavor text, but it's gonna work like a sword.
Well, the flavor text doesn't matter. It depends on how it's coded.
Yeah.
I feel like I saw clips of the glaive blocking, but it's been so long now, I don't remember.
They probably did because they really want to make blocking a thing. And
I was just say it would never occur to me to block, and never will.
And never, no. I'm a Titan. I don't block. I eat the crayons and then I spit out crayon-made bullets. I don't. And again, you've given me a sword in a gunfight, a looter shooter. So,
yeah.
If the glaive has more range, maybe than a sword. I don't. I assume there's a video somewhere of them like.
Yeah, the glaive you can actually shoot. You can shoot from the tip of the glaive, so technically it does have more range.
So yeah, man.
Like a caster
caster swords.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering if it was like the caster swords.
We'll wait for the Fallout video on that then.
What's up, nerds? Yeah, okay, I love that guy.
Yeah, and as we're sort of in this section about weapons coming back, weapons leaving, why are you bringing back old weapons? DMG wrote what is basically like a second TWAB in Reddit, like as a response to some of this, and he sort of touches on want to give some more details on like the why they're making these changes and removing some of the Nightfall weapons, bringing other ones back. It is basically why are we doing this? Well, because we're working on Witch Queen and building out a bunch of new pieces and new things, and we didn't want to allocate team members to building out a bunch of new umbrals, creating new icons, putting them in various vendors, testing them, spending a bunch of time on them if bugs arise, or spend time fleshing out new systems, coming with Witch Queen with the new weapons and the new umbral. So basically, we're sacrificing the old to bring you the new. And in terms of the why are you bringing back old weapons, part of it is just, hey, people like the old weapons, they're familiar to them, and they were all, he makes a point too, they were statically rolled before. So like these two returning Nightfall weapons will have random rolls, so there's a bit of opportunity to make them feel new. And I'm sure with the new season, we're going to have some new perks. So, he sort of says, it's a perfect mix of old gun, new tricks thing. And as far as, why wasn't this in the TWAB? He says, we've been putting a lot of effort into covering what's coming, what's going. We hadn't dug into the ritual weapons offerings with the team. We'll keep that in mind for future seasons. Basically, there's a ton of crap coming. They're not going to cover all of it. But it's, he wrote a big, longer section about that, which again is probably like 2 or 3 pages of, hey, here's the rest of the TWAB in Reddit, because there's a ton of information coming out of the studio and is trying to figure out what to give us, what not to give us, and what he's been told he can't give us. But yeah, but Nightfall's changing. And Lost Sectors, as Nitedemon tells you to do your Lost Sectors, Nitedemon, how are they changing next season? Anything about Lost Sectors we need to know about?
Yes, they're going to make it easier for people to select Lost Sectors next season. So you won't have 2 Lost Sectors next season. You will have 1, which will be selectable for either Legend or Master. And this is something to do with the coding that they had previously, that they had to have both 2 different like Lost Sectors, one giving you 1 item one day and then moving on to be a harder difficulty the next day. So we are going to be losing a Lost Sector each day. So for those people that were using it as an advantage to kind of either get infusion fuel, say if legs are up one day and helmets on the Master, you were using that to kind of boost your levels to get, because exotics dropped at your power level. You won't be able to do that now. It will just be whatever it is on that day, selectable for Legend or Master version. And I guess this is to do with, like they were saying, it's something to do with the code, but because they're now changing the way that the story missions are made in the Witch Queen, we're going to have harder versions that are selectable. This again, I think, with what they're changing with that, is now able to be changed with the Lost Sectors. So it's I think it's a bad thing for Lost Sectors, because I enjoyed having the 2 different ones, but I don't know.
I've got to agree with you there, Nitedemon, because I liked being able to, it gave me more of an opportunity to be like, oh, do I need a head or do I need arms today? And it wasn't just, oh, it's arms day. Hope you don't hate this Lost Sector.
Yeah, or even if you spent the day like in the Legend and you were trying to get a specific armor piece and you weren't getting it to drop, you could at least then maybe attempt the Master the next day to continue it again if that's what you wanted to do. It's removing something from the game again, but trying to make it sound like it's a good thing.
Yeah.
We built a new system and now it's better. You built a new system and it's different. I'll give you that.
On the bright side, though, they could still have like the normal mode give you a helmet, and when you swap to the hard mode, it give you legs. They didn't specify whether they changed that or not.
No, they did. Both difficulties will give the same exotic reward.
Disregard.
Well, we generally do. Sorry.
He's not.
Are you ready to talk about all the Iron Banner changes, the major Iron Banner coming Crucible changes? Because there's been no focus of the Crucible forever, so now they're going to make huge changes to it, right, Nitedemon? They've got huge things to announce.
I would like some more huge maps.
You don't get nothing. You're a PvE expert. You stay away from the Crucible. And like the rest of us, we will get nothing.
And why is that?
Because they looked at the models and liked the way that they were doing it.
It's going great.
They said
Going great.
They've got nothing specific to talk about with Crucible or Iron Banner in this TWAB.
Yeah. So maybe in the next TWAB or 3, but maybe not. I wouldn't hold your breath.
Are they gonna do a TWAB on the Gambit rework, or is it just gonna be like, surprise, here's the new Gambit?
No, they'll let you know about it.
Okay. Yeah, I was just curious.
But if you were curious about the longer respawn times that they implemented with the 30th anniversary patch and then removed them a few days ago, then here's the chance, because they originally implemented the change and they were hoping it would spread out the pace of the combat and reduce the number of times that spawn players were killed instantly by the same super. Still happened, so they took it away, basically.
I honestly noticed myself getting killed more often on spawn with the 2-second increase for some reason.
Well, yeah, I think it would. The game had automatically picked that you were going to spawn in that location, so that enemy still knew where you were going to be, even though it was like an extra couple of seconds. So they'd killed somebody else on the way to you again. So yeah, it served no real purpose.
All I did was make it easier for people to camp the place, because longer respawns meant they're less likely to get overwhelmed. So they'll just sit there with the sniper and take you out over and over again.
Yeah. I mean, this week I got killed by somebody in their super and then literally spawned behind somebody else that was capturing the flag at my location. I'm like, I had no chance. They were on the flag. The game must have detected the enemy was there, but it spawned me behind them. They just turned around and shot me. And I was like, thanks. Just thanks for that. Just no point.
So remember when you died to that super? You want to die to that super again, right?
I too love spawning face first into a shotgun barrel. It's my favorite thing.
No, it didn't spawn me next to the person that killed me with the super. I got killed by a super on the other side of the map. It spawned me back at our base location, but somebody was capturing that base location. And it wasn't like they'd only just run there. It was like about 50% of the capture, and it spawned me behind them. And I was like, oh God. And that was it. I was dead. But then...
No, that was your fault. The game gave you an opportunity to shoot him. It spawned you behind him. All you had to do was pull the trigger. You choked. You died. That's your fault, not the game's.
I'm going to kick you in a minute.
According to their algorithm, it's working as intended.
We looked at the models. We don't understand what your problem is.
Well, in their models, kills per minute were slightly down in the modes with longest respawns. Team score delta went up a little, but they saw the same jump at the start of Season 15, and it was eventually went away. This is likely a larger player base coming in during the season.
Yeah, that's totally what it was. It was more people. It wasn't anything we did. It was your people's fault.
Yeah, match duration went up slightly in Control and Iron Banner, but not Clash. That's because people play Control and Iron Banner. Inversely,
nobody plays Clash. Problem solved. I mean,
yeah. Inversely, mercy rates are down in Control and Iron Banner. That's because there's more people in them. But up in Clash, less people want to play it. There you go. I've answered those two for you.
Yeah.
The rate in which players went up slightly. Yeah. You only go into Clash when it tells you there's a bounty that you have to do by killing 5 people in Clash. That's the only reason you're in there. Then you quit
it again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This is the rate at which players quit went slightly up with these changes were introduced. Almost immediately came down again in Control. 10% more games ended due to time, and in Iron Banner, 5% more games ended due to time. But in Freelance Iron Banner, 5% less games ended due to time.
Isn't Clash the one where you just get points for killing people, like Call of Duty?
Yeah.
So basically, the game mode everybody plays in Iron Banner, where they don't capture the thing, nobody ever wants to use.
Yeah.
That's
okay.
Exactly
you don't tell us how to do Iron Banner. You stay in your corner and cough.
Yeah, there you go. Cough. That's the appropriate.
But I wish you were here this week to tell us about the HDR. Why it needs to
I'll let Fuzko explain that one, because I have no idea what they're talking about.
Fuzko can tell us all about that sweet high dynamic range on his PC that he loves and can do something with now.
Mm-hmm.
As we watch him struggle to go, where's the TWAB? What are we talking about?
Oh, no, I've got the TWAB up next to me, but I'm currently in Dares. But no, I I know nothing about this.
So super excited for it. That's what I'm hearing. You're really happy that the windowed HDR is now supported. You're super excited about that. Your windowed full screen should provide the same or better performance compared to exclusive full screen. You can use the DXGI flip model on Windows 10 and up, and they have a whole page about it if you want to learn more about it from Microsoft's dev blogs, which sounds absolutely thrilling. Screenshots are now supported when playing HDR. Your screenshots will look prettier. They'll be tone mapped to the screenshots will be tone mapped to SDR and saved as a lossless PNG file.
Those are all words that you have put together. Congratulations, sir.
You can calibrate your screen and it'll look better in HDR. And there's different profiles depending on which device you're playing on.
Here's one for Respawn. All players, SDR or HDR, that use the software OBS on Windows 10 and up with the window capture ensure...
What if I want to use Windows XP? I'm just saying.
Ensure that the capture method is set to Windows Graphic Capture, or capturing will be displayed in a black screen. So next week when Respawn's streaming, it'll be a black screen.
Oh, the
sorry.
No, Respawn doesn't use windowed. I don't use windowed whenever I'm playing Destiny.
The number of Twitch support things about to go up. Dear Twitch, hope you guys are ready. Why is my screen broken? Why doesn't that work anymore?
And I'm saying these words, but I don't understand what they are because I play on Xbox. But so set it to Windows Graphic Capture, or capturing will display a black screen, and the bit setting will continue to work for previous versions of Windows. Whatever a bit setting is, you guys know what that is, but I don't know what a bit setting is.
Sure don't.
And if these are words you care about, go look at the TWAB and it will tell you. Yeah.
Or just don't record in windowed mode. Record in full screen mode and you're done. You're good.
People record?
Yeah, people record in windowed mode because it's easier to move the mouse back and forth between screens to do stuff. But I don't do that. I have the Stream Deck to do other me, so I just play in full screen mode and problem solved.
I feel like you're solving problems that weren't really problems, but that's just me.
When I was still taking the raid videos for when you were putting these on YouTube, I was just doing it in full screen.
There you go. Display calibration settings are now stored per platform, which is good. So if you play on PC, Xbox, Series X and X, PS4 and PS5 and Stadia, it's all going to be stored separately. So you can have different settings for different platforms that you play on. So no longer spending half an hour adjusting it when you get on that platform to be better for that platform.
I didn't even realize that was a problem.
No one's adjusting their HDR on Stadia. I don't believe it. No.
Wait,
my phone looks amazing.
I gotta sidebar you folks real quick. Is Stadia still a thing?
Yes.
As of right now, yes. Google hasn't forgotten about it yet. Give them a few minutes.
I thought that died.
No,
2 weeks ago we took a Stadia guide through the raid. They still exist.
It's still a thing. I mean, has Google forgotten it's a product? Probably, but it's still technically a thing.
Wow, that's...
Every now and again, I get begging emails from Google being like, "You could have Stadia." I go, "Yeah, I could."
Yeah, I could,
and I'm not.
If you're ill, Hunter Master Rager, why are you playing Destiny? Go to bed.
Yep. Go drink your chicken noodle soup.
Oh my god, I've got so much chicken noodle soup.
See? Sounds.
I wish I had some chicken noodle soup.
My wife made a big old crock pot just full of chicken noodle soup, man.
There you go. There's the random story for the day. So, do we need to talk about Bruno?
I mean, I watched a whole movie that told me I shouldn't talk about Bruno.
No, we don't talk about Bruno.
Okay,
that's what I was told. Yeah, we shouldn't talk about Bruno. I mean, he's definitely not community manager for Southern Europe or Latin America. That's not a thing. So maybe next time there's a Bungie bounty, they'll remember Latin America exists. I assume that's his job. When they're like, "Hey, we're gonna do bounties," he'll be like, "Latin America's a thing, Southern Europe also a thing." So not even where exactly is Southern Europe? What counts as Southern Europe?
That's a good question.
I was just, and I asked that sort of.
And is there a community manager for Northern Europe?
Well, if there isn't, I'm available.
Don't do it, Bungie. Don't do it. He's just gonna belittle everybody.
Southern Europe is, Spain, France, Italy, probably Turkey, depending on how you split it up. Maybe parts of Germany.
Northern
It's not called Turkey
Mediterranean.
anymore. They don't like to be associated with the animal.
Spain, France, Italy, Turkey, possibly parts of Germany.
Where would you get Germany from?
Because it's still Germany's right in the middle. It's like it's Central Europe.
No, this is Southern Europe.
Yeah,
He's not for them. I think
it's not central. That's
why
central.
I said
Germany's central.
Parts of.
No parts of nothing.
Possibly. You don't know.
No.
You don't
I thought he was a community manager for
Welcome
Southern
to
Europe.
the geography portion of
Latin America.
Two Titans and a Hunter podcast.
Right, so geography lesson. According to Wikipedia, Southern Europe is defined as
Romania.
Mediterranean Europe. Albania, Andorra, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Bulgaria, Croatia, Cyprus.
I saw this on Animaniacs. It was much better when
Gibraltar, Greece, Italy, Kosovo, Malta, Monaco, Montenegro, North Macedonia, Portugal, Romania, San Marino, Serbia, Slovenia, Southern France, in quotes, Corsica, like that's a real place, Spain, Turkey, East Thrace, and Vatican City.
So not Germany then?
Hold on. Did you say Vatican City?
Yes.
Yeah,
the Pope's getting down on some D2.
You know he is.
Right?
Anyway, new Hunter Vanguard for...
Yeah, nope, perfect.
Yeah.
Going great.
Yep, so Bruno's the new Hunter Vanguard. Got it.
Yeah.
Now is he the Vanguard for Latin America and Southern Europe, or for all hunters everywhere?
Oh no, not all hunters everywhere. That mantle's already been taken by one man that we do not want to aggravate.
So Bungie is adding to their community ranks with Bruno.
Yeah.
Which they say we should talk about. Disney says don't talk about it. I'll let you figure it out for yourselves.
Disney is the bigger one here. So I'm sticking next to Disney, so we don't talk about
Yeah,
Bruno.
you don't mess with the mouse. He's not he doesn't like it when you do that.
Stick with Disney.
Yeah.
Fair enough. And then they've unbanned some people. They wrote a whole lot of words to basically say, hey, we had a security thing, BattleEye. We put it in. It was going great. They call out something called Process Hacker specifically, that they banned 68 people for using and then decided that 61 of those people were not suspicious. So those 7 people still suspicious. Sorry guys. You were process hacking too good or too bad or something.
Having listened to DCP this week, Process Hacker was a program to detect malware and other things on PC. So it's not a bad thing. It's a good program to have.
That was being flagged by. Yeah, I was just saying, I can guess what Process Hacker is by the name, but okay, but it was being flagged because again, all of these things all these security tools is a game of cat and mouse of thing because it's a thing. Maybe it's legit, maybe it's not. So they were using a legit product that they got banned between, what did they say, back between August 2021 and now. So if you were banned for using Process Hacker, maybe they told you you're unbanned, maybe they didn't, but they unbanned 61 of you this month. So that's good.
You're welcome.
But I think DCP said this as well. If you were the 61 people that have just been unbanned and you've been blocked from Destiny for the last 6 months, would you come back? No.
Right,
Obviously,
like,
to play the new Battlegrounds. They're so excited. Yeah, no, I was like, did you notify those people they were? If you were one of the 61 people that are somehow found this show, or a buddy was like, hey, tell us your experience of why you're super excited to come back to Bungie and Destiny.
I'd have given them a month and I would have shut down the podcast and said, that's it. End of days, that's it. I'm not playing this game ever again. If they'd have done that to me back in August, and I'd gone this amount of time with being unbanned.
That unbanning should come with a free copy of Witch Queen, right? Like
it would. I would demand all the triumphs unlocked for the amount of time that I could have played the game. I would not accept to just come back.
Instead of sending free crap to streamers that don't play the game, send them the free crap instead,
I would like to
Yeah.
be taken flawless by Luke Smith himself and Joe Garoth. They're my
Yeah,
trials
right.
team. I don't know what you
While
have
I
to do to make
belittle
them
them
happen.
Oh
the
yeah,
entire time.
I mean,
Like
in
the
that
team
time,
chat
I
is
did go
just me.
flawless. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. So I mean, my only guess is they're saying, "Hey, look, guys, our system works. We review things and unban people sometimes." That's the only part of my brain where it's like, that's why they're telling us this. See, we're looking at things. We're not just banning you forever and leaving you there, but we are for 6
Yeah.
months.
Dude, just ignore the fact that it took 6 months to do it. That's not important. No, just ignore it.
Unfortunately for those guys that did get banned, it's been a long time. But I think what Bungie are trying to say is that the process is getting better at them identifying who is cheating and who is actually using legitimate programs. So it's better in the future, but not so good for people when we were implementing this back then. So good for future stuff.
In the future, if you're banned for using a legit product, maybe we'll see it quicker and unban you quicker or not ban you. That's the hope.
See, stick to Xbox. No banning.
No process
Yeah,
hacking,
no.
no banning. Press
no.
press button, box chirps, play video game.
Now, who do I ask here? Do I ask Panaoramix or do I ask Peroty?
Yes.
How's PSR?
Is that a new PlayStation that's coming out?
Wrong person. Peroty?
It's the advanced version of PCR that really
Dang it!
works.
I lost again. Stupid coin flips.
So the player support, the PSR, would like to tell us about Bungie names. Since the Bungie names went
They
live,
exist.
and you're getting friend requests from people you have absolutely no idea who they are or why they're friend requesting you. You haven't been able to change your Bungie name, and they're still looking into ways to allow that in a future update. They're targeting a date close to the Witch Queen launch date, but don't have any actual information for us. So if you have a Bungie name, it's going to be your Bungie name for a while, and that's just who you are.
They wrote a bunch of words to say we have no update.
Yeah. However, upon an investigation to a player's real name being used for their Bungie name, now is this your real name? We've determined that this issue occurs when a player sets up a Steam account with an email containing their name, doesn't change their Steam account name upon activation, so it takes on the email address and then doesn't add it as a Steam display name. If Steam doesn't have a display name, our Bungie name feature will take Steam's account name to use as your Bungie name instead. So if you signed up with firstname@lastname@gmail.com to Steam and never changed it, your Bungie name may be your real first and last name, and you can't change it. So that's exciting.
Well, not yet.
Yeah, but they hope maybe you can one day soon, maybe near Witch Queen.
In 6 months, after they've unbanned the next group of people,
They will let you change. They'll let you change your real name.
they may get around to you.
Mm-hmm. If
Look,
you're
there's one guy, he's working very hard.
Yep.
He's also in charge of the making sure that this isn't actually a cheating program and unbanning people. So it's a lot of work.
Same thing. Intern Tim is doing his best. Now, what you should be doing while you should be playing all of the mini games in Destiny right now, such as turning gunsmith materials or find your new favorite shader. You should also be playing the game of collect the rewards. You need to claim a number of rewards before February 22nd, or they go away. You can't have them, and then you're potentially sad. What those are is your Bungie rewards, your Season Pass items, your Shaxx Crucible rewards, your Drifter Gambit rewards, your Zavala Vanguard rewards, your Season Vendors rewards, all the rest of those Season Vendors we don't see fit the name here, all your Gunsmith Reputation items, and your Seasonal Seals and rewards. So just as a reminder, if you've done a thing and you've worked really hard and you've earned that seal, unlock it, equip it, actually claim it. All those triumphs that the night team is telling you you need to go out and do, you actually need to claim those. Because if you wait till the 23rd to claim them, you will be sad because it will say you didn't do that. You may have unlocked it, but you have to actually take that lottery ticket, bring it into the office to collect your money. They don't just ship it to your house. So claim your seals before the 22nd of February, or you may potentially be sad or not even know they existed at all.
And I think the general rule of thumb with that is actually go into the seal, click on whatever name it is that you've kind of got or gilded, equip it, and then you can take it off. Because I think that's what Bungie have said in the past, is make sure that you've equipped it so that the game knows and logs that you've actually got it, unlocked it, and equipped it. You can then take it on.
Because we can't be bothered to look for you. Got it.
Yeah, it's kind of. And when they're talking about Shax's Crucible rewards, Drifter's Gambit rewards, it's the engram in the top right corner, which is the extra rewards that you get, as well as the reward tracks for each vendor as well. So also, don't forget, when you're going along the tracks, if you've maxed out on shards and golf balls and things like that, just be aware that if you've got like 50 of the shards in your inventory, it won't let you pick up, say, Shax's 2 or 4 that you've got sitting there. So use them up on some of the armor. There's, I think, to get from 8 to 9 armor pieces, there's 2. You can put 2 shards on an armor item. From 7 to 8, it's 1. So you can kind of get some space in your inventory to then pick up those items, because that's what I was finding this week, that they were available on the tracks, but because my inventory was full up, it wouldn't go to the postmaster it wouldn't let me collect it anyway. So keep an eye on that. And as these guys have said, they've been turning their gunsmith reputation to get rewards to turn down into shards for the end game purposes.
It's all shards. It's all shards of other materials. You're just converting materials into other materials. That's all you're doing. Yeah, and then the Bungie rewards are the ones from the actual like Bungie store, like, you know, where if you've earned a jacket or a ring or a sweatshirt, or you want to buy the T-shirt, whatever, all those rewards are the physical things you can get from Bungie that they will ship to your house at some point. So remember, if you've been waiting to grab any of those, or you want an actual gold seal of the seal you earned, get all that done before the 22nd as well, or to see what the store says.
And then your season pass is the stuff in game that you can see on your season pass. Plus, you do have access to last season's pass. If you go on the Bungie app and the Bungie website, you can access last season's pass to see if you've left anything on that, because then that gets turned off. Theoretically, there is a way that Cheese Forever kind of shows you to get back to it. But if there is a way that they completely cut it off and you can't get back to it, claim those rewards, because this season's pass will then become the old season pass that you can then access via the Bungie website next season. So you've got that. Also, something I wanted to kind of bring up, because we were talking about it in the chat. Peroty asked a question about the trials engrams that are sitting at Saint 14. I think I've got like 9 or 10 saved up down there. Now, when the new season ticks over, if you don't claim those will then be wiped out. The same with all the other vendors. But what I think you can do is pick up those engrams and store them in your engram storage on your person. And then next season, when Trials comes back, it's not coming back in the first week. I think it comes back the second week after the raid. So I think it was the 11th of March. Not March. Yeah, the 11th of March, sorry.
But which week will be the summoner?
It will probably be the first week.
All of the weeks will be the summoner, because you have one in your inventory and you can get them at the moment you have an engram.
If you already have the summoner, if you've already got it unlocked from playing Trials at some point, it will then be available on the track from Shax to turn in an engram. And
it's still not going to be from Shax. It's still going to be Safe 14. Don't have the people go into Shax. I don't know what.
Go to Shax.
I don't know what level
Shax. It's a lie.
Look, Shax and I have got a bargain to just promote Shax all the time.
Does Deacon know about this love affair?
Oh,
I mean, my wife knows that Pan is the mistress in our relationship, but does your wife know about Shax?
Sorry, Saint 14.
No, Shax. He's lied.
Oh, I hate you.
Yay, yeah. I win! My day is complete!
Yeah, so if you don't have the summoner, wait until they tell you it's summoner weekend. Go get yourself a summoner and then spend the rest of the season rolling summoners, because it's a wonderful gun that everyone should have. Yeah,
so you can go to...
To who now? To where?
You can go to Saint 14.
Saladin.
You can go to Saint 14, and at the moment, the weapons that are available is... You've got the Eye of Soul, the Messenger, the Igneous Hammer, the Solar Scar, Shariah's Wrath, and Reed's Regret. If you have a Trials engram, you can swap with Saint 14, 1 Trials engram, 20,000 Glimmer, and 100 Legendary Shards for that weapon, if you want that specific weapon. So next season, when it rolls over, if you have, say, 10 Trials engrams saved on your person, you could, in theory, walk up to him day one without even playing Trials next season and go, I want that. If you've already got it in your loot pool. If you haven't, you will have to play trials to unlock it in your loot pool to then gain access to rolls of it again.
Remember, play trials at the beginning of the season, not the end, if you want to be useful and get things.
Yep. And even if it's not trials, even if the summoner isn't week 1, play it, earn those engrams, wait till it's summoner weekend, then go earn your summoner and turn them all in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we will tell you when it is, because we're all here about the summoner. I don't care what else they're bringing back, unless it's a better summoner, like a second summoner I can strap on top of the first summoner.
Can I wear this one as a boot?
It's called the sweet business, sir. Exotic.
It does some of the sweet business.
And a non-exotic sweet business is what I need, turns out.
So the summoner, you're good.
Yeah, okay.
So 19, this seems like the week, though, I can finally live my dream.
Can you?
I can, because you know what our known issues is? The full emergent list for Destiny 2. All of the known issues. No. So Destiny, apparently, guys, it's great news. The game is fine. There's nothing wrong. Fuzko, everything's been fixed. Pan, not a single bug. Respawn, everything's working perfectly. Because the known issues list is just a link to the known issues article that you can review, or players who observe issues can report them to the help forum. I think this is the first time they've not called out a single known issue. They're probably like, listen, the game was down half of this last week with us patching things. What else is broken? We'll figure it out later. But for now, everything's great, except for the things that, are out there on that article.
So something that something that you didn't mention earlier when you were talking about DMG's tweet were the weapons that are being removed from this season or being taken out of the loot rotation. So for trials, because we were talking about trials, is the Igneous Hammer hand cannon and the Solar Scar sword. So if you want those now's the time to go and play them. Not this weekend, because I believe it's Shirai's Wrath this weekend. But if you wanted the Nightfall rewards, the Swarm, the Shadow Price, the Uzunami RR4 and the Hungura, they are all being taken out of the loot rotation. So this week currently is the Uzunami RR4 in the rotation with Sepkis Prime. So if you've missed that, possibly, unless they dump all the weapons in the last week for you to have a chance to get, that's gone out of the rotation. So it would have been nice to know this again, Bungie, back a couple of months ago.
Is important.
Yeah, if you're going to take something out of the loot pool, please tell us at least 2 months in advance so people have time to go and play these game modes. Not to go, oh, by the way, this weapon's being taken out of the loot pool. Oh, and we've told you Thursday, and you've got 3 days to go and see if you can get it from the Nightfall and get a good roll on it. So, yeah.
Communication, not their forte.
Listen, they flipped the coin on Wednesday before they wrote the TWAB, and now we know what they're taking out.
Yeah. But we do know ahead of time for the Iron Banner, which is going to be in the last week before Witch Queen drops. So if you need your Multi-Max CCX, which is your submachine gun, your Time Worn Spire, which is your pulse rifle, your Guiding Sight, which is your scout rifle, or your Steady Hand cannon from the Iron Banner, that week will be the last week that you can actually get it from drops and from engrams. There you go. But according to DMG, Xur will be offering these for purchase with random rolls occasionally, so they aren't totally gone.
Now, which Xur? Both Xurs? All the Xurs?
Speaking of Xur.
In a good way or a bad way?
In a bad way.
Oh.
Because apparently the summoner is listed on his possible loot pools for this season.
Yes.
Yeah, that's not the only weapon either that you can get from trials on Xur. Yeah.
And has it? I have never seen it in his inventory.
Not yet. No. He had the Scholar a couple of weeks ago, which is
Bungie's
the scout
just
rifle.
feeding it to lie to us.
Yeah, he had the Scholar a couple of weeks ago, which is the scout rifle from trials, which hasn't been in the Saint 14 rotation for this last season, but he sold it a couple of weeks ago. Average roll, nothing too amazing, but summoner could come up in the last week or so. Maybe.
If you're also having anxieties about Nitedemon, about what's coming, going, what you should be doing because they're taking out of the game, Bungie lists back to their Destiny Content Vault article where they tell you all about the activities, rewards, quests, everything going into the vault. So if you're worried about Tangled Shore things, they will tell you some portion of the things as
Some
Bungie
portion,
does,
there you go,
and
there
then
you
you can be anxious, and you should listen to every episode of the show for Nitedemon's lovely British voice telling you all the other things that are going to the vault that you absolutely need to do right now, or Shaft will be sad with you.
Do you think their vault has a limited capacity?
Whose?
Bungie's. When it goes into the vault, are they limited to like 500 things they can put in it?
I hope so.
No,
like,
their vault is right-click delete.
Sorry, we couldn't fit all of the Tangled Shore in the vault. We lost a couple.
All of the Tangled Shore in there,
continent.
And then there's like one guy that's like, "Damn it, Bungie, I need more vault space."
You're telling me you can fit the entire Tangled Shore in your vault?
Yeah,
No,
but I can
doesn't
only
sound
have
right.
500 guns. Yeah, that's a lie.
Sure
You
is
know, it would
well
be. I'm sure there's some sort of synonym for vault that they could have used, but here we are, same language. It's not confusing at all.
And it looks like
It didn't
Respawn
fit
has
their
sent
model.
me their address so I can mail them a thesaurus.
There you go. And you're forgetting about the entire planets that are already in there too, guys.
Right?
You just
Yeah.
worried about the Tangled Shore. We have entire planets that are already in there.
Mm-hmm. And that's just a single shore. So, super important question of the 12. Now that we've gotten to the movies and artwork, what are we making of the kitty cat and the capybara that they single letters within the TWAB? Did anybody notice that they had linked in the TWAB single letters to a picture of a cat and a capybara up above, and maybe a third one that I don't remember now?
As I've said to you previously, I don't like cats, so I never bothered to click their stupid cat pictures.
But one's a capybara, which is way better than a cat.
Yeah,
No,
but
I
again,
did
I'm
not
too used-
realize that was
I'm
the thing.
Too used to the cats, I just don't click on any of them.
I noticed it when Hippie started writing the. So I don't know if it's just, hey, I like these and these are fun, and we're Bungie, we do what we want, or is there some sort of, with Bungie, I also just assume there's like some sort of ARG that's going on that somebody somewhere in a subreddit's caring deeply about. And I'm going, okay. So I didn't know, 19, if you had heard about any, I know like the Witch Queen, all the symbols are different elements, so the periodic table and blah, 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 secrets there, but I didn't know if there was anything else going on that you were, there's a puzzle to be solved, or you can just wait till the game comes out and play it.
They haven't actually done that for a while.
They haven't done that in a long time, and like, it almost makes me curious if like they have done it and just nobody's noticed.
Right, which is why I'm like, are they just lulling us?
Yeah.
Because wasn't there something, I can't remember, wasn't there something where they were like, this has been out there for 3 years and no one's ever realized it or something?
Yeah.
I don't remember any of the specifics, so it's a terrible story, but I feel like they had one of those like, oh, we snuck this into the game. I go, well, you snuck it too good, because literally nobody ever noticed.
And like, honestly, the people that were on top of that and sort of, responsible for the finding those things, and not responsible, that makes it sound like it was their job, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
jobs, yeah.
We're all banned since August.
Are they gone now, right? Like,
they were the 61 people that were banned.
They were actually using software to find the things.
We figured it out.
And Bob and in the banning department was like, well, that seems suspicious, and got rid of them. Thanks, Bob.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, because I agree. Like, I hadn't remembered, which is exactly why I think, well, like, clearly there's something going on now, because Bungie loves their puzzles and their ARG stuff and their,
right.
Even if it's just to build hype for the new thing, it's like, well, you've got a big new thing that's, coming out on the best date you could release anything ever. So, okay. I didn't know if it was a thing or just, hey, we're going to put pictures in because it's fun.
Yeah, no, they've always done the cat pictures, but I think the problems that they've faced over the last couple of years, where they split from Activision and they've gone self-publishing, has caused them sometimes a lot of harm, because they didn't have like. Sorry about that, but due to technical reasons, our recording stopped halfway through. So basically, I was explaining that Bungie had struggled when they'd split from Activision, or it looked like they were struggling from splitting from Activision, because I was listening to the Last Word podcast with the Bontist and Tie Guy Travis, and he was saying that he'd bumped into Luke Smith somewhere, and basically Luke Smith had said, I'm sorry, they didn't have people for doing like marketing and getting the information out to other news outlets. So I think that's all I can remember from what I was actually talking about. But I'll return you back to the show now.
Now recording. Throw more grenades, Craig.
So, welcome to Two Titans and a Hunter. This week we are joined by Panaoramix and Fuzko. Let's kick it off with what's happening next week in Destiny.
Can I go get more coffee if we're really doing this? Like, I'm fine doing it. I got crap going on today, but like, I'm gonna need more coffee.
Look, we're only having to redo it if it didn't record the first bit. If it did, then the people are safe.
I need more coffee and some more grenades.
Yeah, more grenades.
Mm-hmm.
So, Panya, you were telling us about your theory, or explaining a bit more on my theory for what's happening with Bungie.
Look, man, everybody's in a staff crunch, and I get it, but like, it's Loki all over again, right? Like, you people are in desperate need of leadership, and it's infuriating that there's nobody like, hey, maybe this is something we should look into, right?
Possibly.
I'm not saying hire the Frozen Clan as your
They are in desperate
team.
need of leadership, and we have a crack team of managers ready to manage the heck out of you.
I tell you what, hey, no one respawns in real life. It's a phenomenal HR.
Yeah, no, perfect. I love it. Let's do this.
Now, this is hyper speculation and theory of
us.
Right. No, but what I'm saying is maybe when Bungie split from Activision, they got wind that Microsoft might be wanting to take over Activision.
Well, that's something I was wondering. Because that's what happened in 2019, and obviously the deal got here in early 2022. But it's not like this didn't happen overnight. So and there was all that speculation about Microsoft trying to buy Bungie. And maybe it was all of the above. We're trying to buy everything we can because we have all things onto the Game Pass because it's a voracious mouth we need to keep feeding.
Oh my God, right?
So I wonder if there's not some part, at least in just, hey, somebody took a meeting with somebody at one point about, hey, we'd like to buy you. No, we're not interested in being bought. We really want to be solo. Or, hey, we're part of Activision. Activision says, no, you must talk to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder just about what that timetable is like.
Yeah.
But it's not so far, like it's years, but it's not so far outside the realm of possibility.
Yeah, I mean, and given the amount of money that Microsoft paid for Activision, this obviously wasn't an overnight decision, right? Like they've been at it for a while.
Yeah.
And I some of me thinks that there must have been some kind of talks, because I vaguely remember when Bungie did split from the publisher Activision, it was before their contract had run out with Activision. Wasn't there a 10-year deal or something with Activision for them to publish Destiny games? And it came very quick, didn't it? And it was very, this is what we're doing. It was very sudden that they announced this and they were going off on their own and splitting from Activision. And I think they just wanted to get out of the way of what possibly could have happened if Activision was bought, within like the year or two. Obviously, it's taken quite a few years to get done, but they didn't want to kind of get caught up in that who owns what kind of percentage of, we own this game, this is ours, we're taking it over here. Yes, we'll share and we'll play. You can have Game Pass and things like that. We'll still be friends, but we split from you because we wanted to split from you. We don't want to come back into the fold, kind of thing. And I think that's where some of the rumors came from, where Microsoft was trying to buy Bungie. Maybe there were meetings, like you said, came out of the Activision stuff. It was like they are trying to buy Activision, but it's all hush hush. Somebody said, oh, Bungie have had a meeting with Microsoft, but maybe it was just the possibility of, can we just split from them without them taking action, and we'll go over here and just do this, and you guys carry on over there, kind of thing. That's my thinking of it anyway.
Yeah. It's one of those, everybody can speculate forever, but it's like, who knows? Bungie seems to their own studio. They want to rule their own destiny, no pun intended. They want to be able to control what they're doing and not say also work on Call of Duty games, which, I haven't played a Call of Duty in years.
Ever since we got done making Halo.
Right. I had no idea that like every studio that Activision owns works on Call of Duty. There's like 8 or 9 different studios where
God.
it's like all they do is pump out Call of Duty things, or this studio just does server
Mhm.
support, or this studio just does this. Like I think I saw it linked somewhere, and then Paul Tassi either wrote an article or linked to a previous article he'd written about like what role each studio plays. And I was like, I mean, I knew it's a giant monster that comes out every year, and I knew there was enough, primary developers making the game, but I had no idea that basically all of Activision Blizzard was a Call of Duty factory. That's it. Like it's like we used to make individual titles, and now we pump out Call of Duty things. Period. Full stop. Like I had no idea it was that resource intensive, that taking that many things. I don't know.
Yeah.
Which is embarrassing for how mediocre they've been.
Well, they've got a formula, right? They looked at the algorithm and said, wow, this is making us money.
They looked at the numbers and said, we're going to do exactly more of this forever. Yep. And that's been your 2 times 100 business talk for the week.
Look at your algorithms.
Look at them, run the numbers.
So we don't have a Respawn's report roundup this week. 1, because he's sick, and 2, because there isn't too much. He could have read the DMG stuff, but we're not going to make him because he's not very well, bless him. So I think that means it's just me with some tips, tricks, and guides.
What have you watched on YouTube that you should tell us all about that's good?
Well, I can tell you, I've only watched a couple of things this week. Well, I mean, no, I've watched a few things, but I think
what's wrong with you?
I'm only going to recommend a couple of things. There is one from Cool Guy, which is about the fusion rifles that seem to be doing the rounds in the Crucible lately. So check that one out. We also have one from Fallout Plays, which I know Respawn pointed out this week, which is going on the fusion rifle that Xur sold a couple of months back, or about a month back. Main ingredient that's been doing the rounds that everybody was shouting at the time, going, go and get this roll, go and get this roll, go and get this roll. And he basically shows you this roll and other rolls of other weapons that are very similar to it. Very similar to the Cool Guy video. It's like showing you how to get 50 meters plus on these things and doing some damage in PvP. Cheese Forever did 2 videos basically on the same item. So if you want the Tigress, is it the Anno Panther Tigress emblem for free, there's a guide for doing it on iOS devices and Androids. So he's got 2 different videos depending on what you've got. And a quick video this week from Cool Guy, definitely Deacon approved. It's 3 minutes 59. So yeah, she'll like that one, under 5 minutes. The must know PvE/PvP tips for slideshot and slideways. And then a couple of cool videos that I came across this week for just like PSAs basically. So Bunty's put out one this week about unloading your etheric spirals from the Tangled Shore.
So I know, right?
The little red flowers.
Oh,
so
I missed that day.
Bunty didn't call you up and tell you? I thought you were friends.
No, he didn't. I know, right? He's off the Christmas list.
Normally when we get like an update, and even though last time when things went into the Destiny content vault, their planetary materials stuck around in your inventory and you could trade them in at Spider and at Banshee for other items. Apparently, the etheric spirals are actually being removed from our inventory next season. So if you've got loads of them, now's the time to spend them. So keep an eye on Spider to see when you could trade these either for, I think it's going to be for Glimmer, isn't it? Yeah, so trade these in for Glimmer, basically, because then they're going to be worthless. Or if you want to trade them in for other things at like the tower, if Banshee's selling like modules for etheric spiral or shards and things, maybe trade it in for that. But keep an eye. Yeah, try and get rid of your etheric spirals by the end of the week. I will link the video from Ubuntu again. Definitely Deacon approved. It's under a minute. And then the other one, which was
the Destiny app is really good for that. If you go to vendors and scroll down, you can look at what Spider is offering for what on any given day at reset instead of having to log in and fly into the Tangled Shore.
There you go. Good.
Well, that's something I didn't know.
Yeah. I've been doing that with Ada One's mods, trying to get all my mods caught up.
Is it telling you you're missing a mod? When?
Yeah. Yeah, so I know to go home and when I get off work and buy that mod. So same thing with Spider now, looking for Etheric Spiral, anything really.
Yep. Yeah, I think Shark Commander and Dib both have all the vendors built in. Exactly, yeah, what they have, what's going on. And I know, yeah, like Ebontis put out a video and, hey, turn in your spirals, do this. You can turn them into shards this way. So keep an eye on whoever you're listening to, like us, for Destiny, as the season ends, because the next time someone says, hey, here's the day to go turn in all your spirals and here's what you can convert them into, we'll try to push that out as well, because we all have materials to burn through that we want to get, something from.
Yeah. And the last video that I'm going to point people in the direction of this week and tell you about it, because it's going to be interesting. Now, G Minas, I think it is, on YouTube, put out a video of farm these now. So again, clicked on it just to see what it was. Now,
parsnips, melons, blueberries.
No, sorry, this isn't the farming show.
And you're gonna need the goat's milk if you're ever gonna get with Leah, because let's be honest, she's the only one you need to choose. The rest of them are jokes.
So, going into the Witch Queen.
All getting cut out.
Going into the Witch Queen, there is a possibility that you might need taken spec on your weapons. Now, you can go and get these from chests in the Last Witch raid, and G Minas goes over how to get to the chests in the Last Witch raid. But something else,
you can move chests if you're not holding anything, and you go over and push the action item. It'll push it one space over.
No, this isn't Stardew Valley. They don't move. Now, the other interesting thing that he mentions in his video, and this was brought up in the community, that you know these silly Star Horse boxes, the Parzival, whatever they are, Parzival halls that you can get.
Yep.
The boxes
is the man from Ready Player One. You're thinking of the puzzles.
Yeah.
Whatever those silly boxes are that the horse gives you for trading in your strange coins, and this is what I told you to remind me to come back to. Anyway, I knew I was going to talk about it.
See, so it worked.
Yeah. So basically, those boxes that you get for trading your strange coins, keep the boxes, because apparently when people have been leveling up this season, like new light players coming in, those boxes have been dropping too light or powerful drops to get you up to the power cap for this season. So in theory, if you open them next season, because they are just boxes at this point in time, they're not actually engrams or anything else, they could drop you powerful drops to help you get your light up for next season. So strange coins are worth keeping and trading in as soon as you've got like a stack of them. Keep the boxes in your inventory, and then next season, because I believe it says on it, it gives you a chance at exotic gear, legendary gear, strange coins, or treasure keys. Now, strange coins you can then trade back to the horse to go and get more boxes. Treasure keys you get to then give you weapons at a power drop, and exotic gear and legendary gear is again what you need to get you to the power cap. So in our constant race to get to the powerful level quicker and faster next season, this is a good way of maybe storing up some items to help you get there. And my quest to keep as many boxes on me as I needed, because this is what I started last week, I am now up to 49 boxes.
Tune in next week for our intervention on Nidedemon's hoarding problem.
And it still hasn't capped out. So I've no idea where you can cap these boxes out. I'm still going to keep hoarding them until it tells me no. And then when I stop hoarding them in my inventory, maybe if I purchase them from the Star Horse, they'll go to my postmaster and I can hoard a second lot there.
You can, out. But should you? The answer is no. Don't do this. Look, everybody, just play the game. Enjoy yourself.
I am enjoying myself. Don't you tell me how to do it.
Wait,
no,
we enjoy playing Destiny still? I thought it was just because we had a crippling addiction and a problem.
It's the same thing.
Stockholm Syndrome.
And I finally did my 75 out of, I think it was 78 challenges for this season. And I can confirm the large pile of bright dust that you get is 4,000. So it is worth it, because it give you
it's not
one exotic emote that you can buy at Eververse this month or next month or whenever.
Ooh, now, Nitedemon, between us girls, which challenges did you not do?
I haven't done the astral alignment under 10 minutes, and I haven't done the sword kills in the Shattered Realm.
Is that?
I think.
No, it was dares under 10 minutes that we thought was the thing. That's not really a thing.
And you can hoard more boxes from the horse next season because it's not going away.
You can, yeah. So another tip for going into next season is stacking up your bounties, which people have been recommended, and Pan was telling us about the 45-minute Ebontis video, yet he sat through a 2.5-hour podcast with us.
Yeah, well,
I'm just gonna say,
I enjoy you people.
Fair enough.
Ebontis won't call me back, so it's less of a best friend, more of a stalker situation. It's we don't talk about it.
What about True Vanguard? Are you guys best friends?
Yeah,
now?
no, he's next on my list.
So last week I was telling people, saving up your daily bounties from your vendors, so your Shacks, your Zavala, your Drifter.
What about your one from Saint 14?
No, we don't talk about Saint 14. I was been doing the daily ones and saving those up, and then I was going around and doing all the other XP ones that I could do, and I've saved up enough for my gunsmith and all the other tower vendors. But then what I realized after kind of doing several other ones is that if you visit Varix on Europa, he gives you 2 weekly ones, which are XP++. And with that, his weekly ones, one of them does change because it coincides with whatever the Empire hunt is for that week. And there are 3 Empire hunts that you can get. So there's Warrior, the Priestess, and the Technocrat. So potentially you have 3 bounties that you can pick up, which are ++ from him, and then the one that says go and do patrols and lost sectors. So you can get 4 powerful XP++ bounties from him to hoard up.
Shocking, the hoarder wants you to hoard things.
You've got Shorhan on the Cosmodrome that will give you 2 bounties each week, which don't change, which are do public events and get kills in every different flavoured weapon. They are ++ bounties, so you can pick up those. There are ones on the moon, which are the Lectern, which give you XP++, and those are doing nightmare hunts and lost sectors that aren't on the moon, killing nightmares. So you can go and pick those 2 up as well. Also, I found with doing the New Light mission, I've got to the stage in the New Light mission that says go to the tower. I believe this was after doing the Corrupted Nightfall. No, not the Corrupted. I can't remember the name of it now. Doing the Disgrace Nightfall on the Cosmodrome. So up until that point, because I'd done the New Light to get the Night Watch, which was recommended a couple of weeks back on by several videos. So I'd got up to doing this Nightfall. Sorry, not Nightfall. Doing this strike, which is selectable via the director. Go and play that. You go back to the tower. And when you visit the tower, you go up to Zavala and he says, here's a risk runner. And I will give you XP++ for completing this if you pick this up at this point in time. So there is another part to that quest that if you want to, with New Light, if you get up to that point, you could then complete that task and get XP++, which will then again progress your season pass and your artifact quicker. And with that, once you've picked that up from him, you can then go to the other 2 vendors and himself again, and he will give you another quest to go and play strikes and get 50 kills in. I think it's play 1 strike and get 50 kills. And I think Crucible is very much the same. It's play a Crucible game and get some kills in that. And Gambit again is go and play Gambit and get some kills in that. But again, they give you XP++. So this is all kind of helping you if you're kind of trying to get as far as you can on that season pass and your artifact quicker for maybe getting into the raid, Fuzko, because we heard last week that you've dropped respawn from the raid team. But if you
is there an opening on the raid team that I can destroy?
But if you're looking to get to whatever the challenge mode level is faster without having to put too much effort in and use your artifact rather than grind the power, but you could do with the Parasaur, those silly horse boxes I was talking about.
The Percival boxes.
The Percival boxes.
I know they're horse boxes now, forever and always.
Yeah. But yeah, there are several things like going around and making sure you're picking up the weekly bounties from the different vendors on the different locations that I found quite interesting, that you could hoard 3 of the Empire hunts on all your characters. Iron Banner as well, that in the final week.
Hoarding,
Those
man,
will
finds
give
it interesting that you can hoard things. Go ahead.
Iron Banner bounties, they give you XP++ as well, and some of those are different. So if you've already completed Iron Banner bounties, then you are holding on to those. Don't forget to check with Saladin when he returns to Terran that last week, because they do slightly change what the objectives are. So you may be able to pick up maybe 1 or 2 extra ones that are different, because I have noticed that over the last couple of seasons that there are 5 or 6 different rotating bounties. They're not all the same. I could be wrong, because it all just blurs into one. But I thought I saw that they had different objectives for the Iron Banner bounties. Also, if you're in a clan, you can pick up 3 weekly clan bounties for Nightfalls, Gambit matches, and Crucible matches with clanmates. So Nightfalls are on a percentage basis, and doing like a master Nightfall is about 80%. So I'm guessing that GMs would be about 100%. So that's quite quick to do. Crucible and Gambit are 10 matches each, and that's it. So 3 bounties for XP++. So yeah, I think that's me done for. If I remember anything else, I'll try and bring it up next week. But don't forget rotations of things like the Empire hunts. You've got 3 weeks to do the XP++ bounties on those. You've got your Shattered Realms. Those 3 weeks for those. So start those now. Anything else that you kind of need to get done rotation wise, keep an eye on those.
Conqueror title.
Yeah, Conqueror title. You can do that. Lost sectors, keep an eye on those, because they will disappear and may not come back to being legendary or master.
Those are all the things you can do and all the things you can hoard. Then you can do this all again in the next season, and then in the next season we'll tell you all the things you can do to get ready for the next season, because it's an addiction and a lifestyle, not a game.
Yeah.
Fits thy name is destiny.
Mm-hmm. And I think that does it. I think we made it. We made it to the end.
Breaking news!
Hiya, Nitedemon here. Just as I was finishing editing up the podcast this week, we had some late breaking news from Bungie and their now partnership with Sony and PlayStation. So I just wanted to kind of drop in here and give you a little bit of the information that came out last night. Thankfully, I have Robot Respawn here to help me, and he's hopefully going to read you a statement that was put out by Bungie with their collaboration with Sony Interactive Entertainment.
Bungie joins Sony Interactive Entertainment, C. We believe games have limitless potential, and that to do anything worthwhile in entertainment, we must bet big on our vision, on our studio, and on our incredible team of trusted creators who build unforgettable worlds that truly matter to people. In C, we have found a partner who unconditionally supports us in all we are and who wants to accelerate our vision to create generation-spanning entertainment of independence that beats in Bungie's heart. Like us, C believes that game worlds are only the beginning of what our IPs can become. Together, we share a dream of creating and fostering iconic franchises that unite friends around the world, families across generations, and fans across multiple platforms and entertainment mediums. Today, Bungie begins our journey to become a global multimedia entertainment company. Creative freedom. Since taking flight in 1991, Bungie has always charted the future with our own star map, a path that is driven by our people and for our community. We are continuing that journey with new worlds in development, and we can't wait to share them with you. With C, the potential for our universes is unlimited. Our future games will take bold steps into unexplored spaces for Bungie, continue to push the boundaries of what is possible, and will always be built on a foundation of creating meaningful, lifelong friendships and memories. We remain in charge of our destiny. We will continue to independently publish and creatively develop our games. We will continue to drive one unified Bungie community. Our games will continue to be where our community is, wherever they choose to play. With C's support, the most immediate change you will see is an acceleration in hiring talent across the entire studio to support our ambitious vision. If this speaks to you, and you want to help us put a dent in the universe, we are hiring across all disciplines for Destiny 2 and for all new worlds beyond. 3 decades and counting. What makes our worlds come to life is our community and our people in the studio. Our people are the soul of Bungie. Empowered by our people, we have pushed the boundaries of what we thought was possible and transformed who we are as a company. Over the past 30 years, the inviting worlds we've built have turned into thriving communities, and that community is the true magic. These communities have taken Bungie beyond games. They have forged lifelong bonds, and humbled us with the real, meaningful good they drive within us and the world. More than anything, C understands that our people and our community are both the priority, and the heart of our success, and are willing to stand alongside us as we continue to use our platform to drive action towards a more welcoming and equitable world. Our goal is to build a place where the world's most creative and talented people can come and do their best work, no matter who they are, where they are from, or how they identify. That's the real dent in the universe we want to make, the one we want to last beyond us. Be a part of this future with us. See you Starside. Pete.
Thank you very much there, Robot Respawn. So where Robot Respawn was saying C, it's Sony Interactive Entertainment. So, yeah, Sony have bought Bungie for what looks to be $3.6 billion at the moment. So, I mean, it's early days, so we've only got a slight bit of information that's kind of come out of Bungie. But Joe Blackburn and Justin Truman did put out a FAQs of questions that came immediately to the Bungie community, or the Destiny 2 community. So I'll quickly go through those for you. So as a Destiny 2 player, does Bungie becoming part of PlayStation have any immediate impact on how I play or experience Destiny 2? No, our commitment is to Destiny 2 as a multi-platform game with full crossplay remains unchanged. We want you to play the Witch Queen on February 22nd, 2022 on the platform of your choice. Will the Destiny 2 experience on non-PlayStation platforms be impacted by Bungie becoming part of PlayStation? No, we want to maintain the same great experience you already have on your platform of choice. Will any announced season, event, packs, or expansions be changed or impacted by Bungie becoming part of PlayStation? No, Bungie retains full creative independence for our game and our community. Our plans for the Light and Dark saga are unchanged all the way through to the final shape in 2024. Will Destiny 2 The Witch Queen include any platform exclusives? No, The Witch Queen will not contain any platform exclusives. Every player should have an amazing Destiny experience no matter where you choose to play. Will cross-platform features like cross-save, cross-play, the Destiny 2 companion app, or third-party apps like Destiny Item Manager, DIM, be changed or removed? No. Bungie's commitment to cross-play and social features remain unchanged. We believe games are best shared with friends wherever they choose to play, and will continue to invest in new features and platforms. So, Bungie has future games in development. Will they now become PlayStation exclusives? No, we want the worlds that we are creating to extend anywhere people play. We want to continue to be self-published, creatively independent, and continue to drive one unified Bungie community. I play Destiny on Steam, Xbox, or Stadia. Will my platform still be supported? Yes. So those are all the emerging responses that we kind of got from Bungie when this news broke. It was around 6 o'clock the UK time on Monday the 31st. And, you know, there was an immediate knee-jerk reaction from some of the community of, oh no, if it's all going straight to PlayStation, we're not going to be playing PlayStation. I think the way that I've taken this is that, I mean, you're listening to the show, we were talking about Microsoft having a possible acquisition of Bungie, and looking at it now, it looks like there possibly was talks to merge again with Microsoft, but they've gone the PlayStation route. And I think this is ultimately in their long-term goal of them wanting to be this big studio that puts out media, and them expanding on the Destiny world and talking about films and TV series and everything else that is possible through Sony. I mean, Sony have their film division, they have music division, they have a vast array of other divisions that are attached to Sony and PlayStation as a larger company, which Bungie obviously see that they have a better avenue to explore Destiny as a big kind of whole, as it were, to get more stuff to us. So it's a good thing in a way, but as I said, it's early days at the moment. We'll obviously hear more stuff as it comes out, but I kind of just wanted to drop this into the show just to say that, you know, we probably will talk about it next week on the show of if there's any more information that comes out. But yeah, that's the news for this week.
So I'm pretty sure this is where we say thank you for joining us. Your Titans are Peroty and Nitedemon and Panaoramix18. Your Hunter is no one responds in real life. Your Warlock is Fuzko. You should email the show at twotitansandahunter@hotmail.com. We're on Twitter at twotitans_hunter. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and basically anywhere you want to harass Nitedemon, you can do that at all the good places. You can find your favorite Guardians playing the game, because it doesn't matter what you play on unless it's Stadia. We're there.
Stadia is not real. That's not no.
Somebody will chirp you through a thing, or they won't. You can listen to all of this madness on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, and anywhere you can get an MP3 in your ear holes. Nitedemon dutifully does a show on YouTube because I started it and then I gave up on it because it got too much, and now he does it because I'm just here to give him more work to do. And if you need a vault cleaner and can't afford Panaoramix18, if you're looking for a checklist for that new season, how about a loot companion that tells you everything that drops for you as it drops in the game? DestinyRecipes.com has you covered. So go to DestinyRecipes.com. It has all of those things and more, and it will help you play this game, because Bungie doesn't tell you what to do. You have to find a website or a streamer or someone to tell you how to do it. And with that, gents, say goodbye.
Bye, gents.
Thank you for joining us. It's always been a pleasure. We may have Nitedemon and Peroty join us next week. Stay tuned to find out.
And Pan, we'll talk to you next year when Nitedemon forgets how horrible I am at this.
Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast.
So, like, on a scale of 1 to I hate all of you, do you regret joining the Frozen Clan? Has it been a good thing for you?
Well, I mean, it's pretty much like I was explaining to my boss last night. I enjoy doing the night shift because I very rarely get to see people. And when I do get to see people, I either like them or I dislike them. And
Fair.
Depending on how much time I spend with them, is how much I like them.
I'm convinced the clan is only about 15 people.
And one cult leader.
Just be glad he called you people.
Yes.